Bro. All right, we're on.
Yeah.
Yo. So you're telling me right now it's going down a little bit in DC.
Yeah, those thugs come invading the city and start shit. Like,
you mean Antifa?
They're clearly there trying to start a fight. Like,
were you talking about Antifa?
No, I'm talking about these fucking Proud Boy thugs.
Oh, I mean that's such a shocker. Fucking Proud Boys show up. You think everything is gonna be peaceful and calm, like they're just gonna be, peacefully assembling or something. You wouldn't think the default would be that they turn fucking violent.
That's literally the point of their organization. Like, they exist in order to start fights. Like, that's like in their fucking, their what's it called? Their founding documents, right? It's just
be violent fascists. Them.
Yeah, like they pride themselves on being brown shirts.
Yeah, and there was
I'm trying to get myself lined up here.
Yeah. Well, there were pics and shit of them waving around Confederate flags, Nazi flags, swastikas.
Heritage, not hate, brother. Heritage, not hate.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they're proud of waving around swastikas from countries that lost wars against the countries they're supposed to represent.
Antifa and BLM members attacked people who were eating dinner near BLM Plaza. They threw projectiles and a large firework. What?
Good.
What's going on here?
And there's also reports that the Proud Boys...
This looks like they were provoking some random people eating.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'm sure there was more to it, but...
Well, there's
not a good look.
There's reports of the Proud Boys stabbing several people. I saw 3 being thrown around. So, I mean, there's also reports that the cops are marching lockstep with these guys.
Well, I'm not sure they're not marching lockstep with them, but they're probably...
That's kind of what they were saying.
Protecting them.
Yeah, I mean, there was at least protecting them and walking alongside them with their full riot gear. And it's amazing how none of them got tear gassed or beat up.
Yeah. Like,
there was a
Peruvian lives matter. What the fuck is that?
Where are you finding that?
I don't know. It's trending with 445,000 tweets. What the shit? Police have killed at least 2 people by shooting pellets in their face. Oh, in Peru.
Oh.
Well, on the evening of November 9th, Peruvian President Martin Vizcarra was ousted by the country's deeply disliked Congress on the basis of moral incapacity, and just 5 months apart from new elections. Now Peru is being ruled by a de facto government led by the President of Congress, Manuel Merino. As of today, no country has recognized his new position or even congratulated him. We Peruvians do not recognize Manuel Merino as our president, and we will keep exercising our right to protest against an illegitimate government. We will do so because we are defending our country from this power grab by a coalition of corrupts. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't the president right wing. So this, I don't know if this is like, further right or this is the first I've heard of it though.
Which is a video that you sent me about that fight that they were trying to say that the BLM.
Yeah, that's the one they're all sharing around.
Yeah.
Like if you look at Antifa and BLM trending tabs. It's all them sharing a you know how they do it. They selectively edit everything, so it just shows the people retaliating. But you know, it's like it's very hard for them to try to claim that they're not the aggressors in this situation. They plan this march and then they deliberately go out to intimidate people. Like that's the intent of the march, right? Like that's what it's there for. So to be like, you know, we were just provoked by these mean Antifers.
Yeah,
you know?
let's go to that video then. You see, we have right here.
Well, this is the full one. So
right, yeah, this is the full one. So everybody that's tuning in with us, you can go ahead and check it out for yourself here. So let's see.
So that's the guy who got fucked up.
None of you want to fucking do that. None of you.
Look at him.
Separate everyone. I got some Hey, everyone.
Oh!
I don't know how
Damn!
you could describe that as anything but fucking asking for it.
Oh,
like, that's like
shit,
the
dude.
textbook definition of asking for it. You know,
like, fuck! I'll say, God
attacking
damn.
a whole crowd of people. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they filmed it specifically so they could get, you know, the good, you know, camera footage of it, right? Like, let's go out and start a fight and have, you know, like we'll do what we usually do and clip it so it just looks like they fucked me up. Because it's
fuck, man, that was some crazy
the people.
ass
It's
shit.
like confirmation bias, right? Like they believe what they want to believe when they see it. But like, how do you see this clip from Andy? No, it's just like all you see is like the guy, like the side of him, like. And then a punch just like coming like instantly as soon as it starts. Like,
Jesus, man.
Doesn't that look suspicious to anybody who's even like a little bit objective?
Yeah, I mean, you'd think so, but Jesus Christ, man, that was a fucking... Man, that fool got laid the fuck out. Damn, did they even show what happened to him after that? Like, he hit the fucking floor hard. Let me see if I can.
Talia Jane was stabbed in the ear by a Proud Boy, and there have been at least 2 other stabbings. At least 1 man is in the hospital with serious injuries. Enrique Tarrio, Joe Biggs, and other leaders need to be prosecuted. That's from
shit,
Robert Evans. Here's this one. Play this one. This is the beginning of the altercation.
Oh shit! Wait, hold on. Let me play the rest of this shit because they show this fool actually what happened to him after he fucking fell on the floor. Let me see. Let's see. Can you? All right. Can you? Let's see. Play this. Come on, play. What the fuck? Come on. Damn it! Come on, guys.
What happened?
Not sure. It's not. Oh, there we go.
It's not on the screen.
There it is.
Just
calm down. Oh! Fuck! You see that twitch? You see that twitch?
If that was someone on the left, they would be getting their heads stomped, right?
Yeah.
Cowboys would not just leave them on the ground like that.
Oh, look at his face! Look at his face!
In Jesus' name.
I don't think you're allowed to show blood.
In Jesus' name, amen. Bring him to the police. We gotta get him over here.
Oh.
I fucked around and
found out.
I found out so much.
Oh, that was brutal. Yeah, all right.
I wonder if the cops saw it. I don't know. The cops weren't going after anybody, so they probably did see it, right?
I mean, you'd think so, right? Yeah. What did you send me? Did you send me another one of these? All right, here we go. The Proud Boys are running through the streets of DC, assaulting people and enabled by cops. Let's see. There you go.
Did you hit the volume?
Let me get it.
Here, can you expand it? Screen's really tiny. Whoa.
Oh shit! It's a fucking rumble.
Yeah, it looks like the end of Outsiders. Fuck you, pussy. Ooh.
This ain't your fucking community! Get the fuck out of here!
Yo,
Get
fuck.
the fuck out of there, man. It's not your community.
Yeah.
They show up like trying to intimidate people. It's clearly those assholes are not from DC.
Right.
Like there's like
So, let's see. There's another one I have. The police and their tear gas are never to be found when the far right does stuff like this. Here's the beginning of what happened tonight. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth and be real with y'all. I did not know I could go full screen like that until just now. Let's see.
Trying to scare. Who the fuck y'all trying to scare, huh?
yeah. See if we can slow it down and you pinpoint what starts it. So is that the cop trying to kennel them?
It's not.
Cover strike! Cover strike! Cover strike!
What are you laughing at, man?
This ain't your fucking community! Get the fuck out of here! You fucking rodent!
Look at those guys. The fuck, man? Like those guys think that they're brawlers. They're like, you know, my grandparents' age.
Shit, man. Man. Yeah, I mean, things look like they're getting kind of crazy out there now.
Look at Benny Johnson. 73 million angry Trump voters. 1 million of them marched in D.C. today. Guess what? No businesses looted, no riots, no mobs, no bricks thrown.
Oh, really?
No Molotov cocktails, no buildings burned down, no Biden supporters hunted down and killed, no churches burned.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, so I have another tweet here about this. See, we've heard reports of people allegedly being stabbed while MPD, that's the Metro Police Department, has been protecting the Proud Boys and white nationalists all night. So let's go to.
Here's one of that.
Let's go to this one.
Wow!
Yeah, they start getting their asses kicked, and then they just run behind the cops, and the cops protect them. I never tweeted out the little live. Shit.
There's an auto tweet that goes out, but it doesn't have a link to it.
Protecting them.
Yeah, I mean, they're clearly hiding behind the cops there.
Yeah.
Oof. You send me another one?
Proud Chuds.
Riot police walking amongst violent Proud Boys like the Queen's Guard. Oh, shit. Yeah, let's go to this one, too. Fuck it. Let's see this.
not your fucking street, man. It's like they hear people chanting that, so they repeat it when it's like, you
Right.
don't get to use that. You're not from there.
That's insane.
Please come holler at us if anyone has insights.
Wow. Damn. There's a lot of these things that we can go through. I mean, here we go. You are traitors not only to the Union but to your civilization. Where's this one? I don't know.
Okay.
See, Trump's base seems fully on board with white nationalists, and let's go to Nick.
Of course they are. What, like?
Let's check this out. Since apparently we're the traitors.
Media and against big tech and against the giant corporations and against the swamp and the government and the CIA and the FBI and the intelligence community, and it is a pretty big task ahead of us. There are a lot of them, and they wield much power. But I think to myself this: I have much confidence in knowing that God is on our side. And if God is with us, then who is against us? Christ is king! Christ is king! Christ is king! Christ is king! Media and against.
Isn't that the guy who said that Charlie Kirk wasn't far right enough because he was
it?
like?
Well, I mean, they're out there sounding fuck Fox News and shit. So
Yeah. Well, he's the one that said that he was like, Charlie Kirk was a traitor because he wasn't explicitly homophobic. I remember that was part of it.
Did you catch this one? Like it's breakout Kyle chants. So I guess they're referring to
the left has no solutions to race issues. What do you mean? How about you guys stop fucking being racist? How about that? Why don't you try that?
I mean, do these people know that Kyle Rittenhouse isn't being held in D.C.?
Now, for the feds that are watching, we're just kidding.
To your civilization. I mean, should I just block you guys
sure,
or what?
Just throw them out, bro.
Uh-huh. Communism will always fail. Why do you think we're communists? Are you a communist, Tony?
Nah, we wouldn't go that far left. I think you kind of turn up the socialism dial just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle defended himself.
Seditionists. Okay.
Yeah. So did
Do you think that you sound like? Do you think you sound smart?
Yeah.
Like
So did
that,
I mean, so did Michael Reynolds in Portland.
Yeah.
See how that
I don't
went?
know why. You. I don't I always wonder. Can you tell me this? So you guys actually believe this? You're not just trying to own people online. Bernie, he went to the USSR. I mean,
what?
Look, I don't think you.
So did
maybe you're
Trump.
14.
Where did he have his Miss Universe pageant?
Yeah, he did go to the USSR. He went during Perestroika. Look up Perestroika in the fucking Wikipedia.
Oh yeah, there was look at those flags that they're holding up all together. I mean, so many. The Marines helped defeat fascism. You have a fascist flag right behind you.
That's not cool. Why would they?
Don't tread on me. And then a Blue Lives Matter flag too, all in the middle of that.
So that's your shit. That's what you guys have. That's what you're having. You're supporting that. I'm pretty sure we went to war against both those countries or both those organizations. So, I mean, maybe you should fucking back off calling other people traitors and seditionists. You know, just a thought. Because I don't have any fascist flags behind me. I think if anybody here has questioned their allegiance to America, it's not us.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. Bookmarks. All right, bye, Chuds. See, this is what Trump meant when he said, okay, so this is another one here. This is good. Where are the smoke bombs and tear gas? Where are the batons? Weird. This is what happens when. This is what Trump meant when he told his terrorist Proud Boys to stand back and stand by. They're rioting. Where's the outrage? So let's go to full screen on that. I'm totally gonna abuse the full screen thing.
Fuck you, Antifa. It's like these fucking pussies always have to, like, take it up a notch. Like, they always have to escalate. They can't just have a fair fight. They have to fucking start stabbing people.
Right.
Every single time.
Antifa!
Yeah, I don't know if I'm wrong to hope that they get their ass kicked, but I hope they do get their ass kicked.
Who?
The Proud Boys.
I mean, I just want them to have a good, clean fight. You know, I mean, as long as it's fair, I don't really care who wins.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I want the fascists to get beat up, but...
Yeah, I kind of have a vested interest in hoping the fascists get their ass kicked.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather lose a fight than cheat. Oh, here comes the cops to save you.
Oh, yeah. The cops are protecting you. Oh, yeah, there you go. Hide behind that blue line.
Maggots.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
I guess
thin blue line you got there.
Yeah, I guess the ones on either side of them are the ones that had the day off.
Huh?
Yeah, I guess the ones that weren't hiding behind the cops are the ones that had the day off, right?
Oh, you think those were the cops who weren't on duty?
Oh yeah, probably. I mean, look, I'm just taking the facts as presented to me, and I mean, they found a way to participate in the march even though they were on duty. So, we did have
Is it still going on?
What's up? Yeah, let me go to. We found a channel that was streaming the stuff live here. So let's go to that really fast to see if stuff is still popping off. I'm
not saying one's better than the other. I'm not saying.
Like, come away.
South Korea.
Yeah, up here at the top you can see this is from DC and this one is at the Million Maga March.
Oh, that's Peru.
Oh yeah, there's some stuff going up in Peru too that we were talking about earlier.
It looks like shit's died down in DC.
Yeah. Yeah, things look a little bit more quiet over there.
Ecuador and Peru.
Let's come back. Let's
see if
I think we have more clips over here, right? Let's see.
Peru. Well, there's 39,000 people in this one Peru channel.
Let's check this out. Oh yeah, so we did have a comment from Trump about all this stuff earlier when he was rolling through.
Yeah, did Trump go through? I want to see clips of that.
He went through earlier. So the protesters, I mean the Proud Boy guys were there from pretty early on in the day, and then at one point Trump did come through and check out his supporters while they were out there on the ground. So let's check that out. It's a short clip. Yeah, so that was him on the way to on his way to go golfing. Yeah, like you said over there, MZ in the chat. Yeah, he was on his
golfing.
Yeah, he was on his way to go golfing. Let's see, check out. Yeah, there's an Antichrist video on Trump. 24 proofs that Donald Trump is the Antichrist.
Ooh.
We'll go check that one out later after we go through a few of these other clips. He also went ahead and tweeted out. There was one tweet that was deleted, and I really did try to find what he deleted. That was so bad. It seemed I don't know any thing about Twitter. I mean, I don't think Trump is the type of to go and post something and then go ahead and delete it. I mean, he left up Kofefe for God's sake. So, I'm kind of leaning towards maybe Twitter deleted it. But look at this tweet that he did send out, and I mean, I can't imagine Twitter leaving this up and deleting something else. So, Antifa Scum ran for the hills today.
Ran for the hills today when they tried attacking the people at the Trump rally. Because those people aggressively fought back, Antifa waited until tonight when 99% were gone to attack innocent MAGA people. DC police, get going. Do your job and don't hold back.
I mean, yeah, that's
him saying, "Oh, they stabbed some people,"
Yeah,
that's what that is.
Yeah, the president did stab somebody. Like I said, I mean, the president, the Proud Boys said that they stabbed. I mean, apparently they stabbed somebody. The number went as high as 3 that I seen.
Yeah, I saw 3.
So I mean, it's kind of hard to tell at this point. I mean, obviously it's still developing, so you can't really say.
Let me see if.
So there's another tweet here. There's a few of them actually. So let me see if we can pull something up here. This group, the Proud Boys in yellow and black, is trying to march to BLM Plaza as police in riot gear walk alongside them. So let's go to this. I'll start from the beginning. Hold on. Yeah, man. I don't know. They seem to be getting along pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and let me see the quote tweet from it. Let's see. I covered DC's BLM protests this summer, and not once did I see police, let alone police in riot gear, walk alongside protesters like this. They will be blockading streets or dispersing crowds, often violently shoving, tear gas, shooting rubber bullets. I mean, a gross contrast. So, yeah, we've seen the civil unrest in numerous cities all over the country, and how the police have reacted to them. Whether name the city: Atlanta, L.A., Austin, Portland, Kenosha. Yeah, the cops have not been acting anywhere close to what they were doing. Well, tonight with these Proud Boy motherfuckers. So, so we had a tweet.
Radical left Antifa Scum was easily rebuffed today by the big DC MAGA rally crowd, only to return at night after 99% of the crowd had left to assault elderly people and families. Police got there, but late. Mayor's not doing her job.
Says Trump not only want white nationalists and Proud Boys as part of his street army, he will typically cheer and defend their actions. The Trump cult is likely to continue beyond his White House stay and will continue to influence sections of the Republican grassroots. I mean, I can't disagree with that.
What?
That the Proud Boys aren't going to go anywhere. They're going to probably still influence the entire party even after he's gone.
Yeah. I mean, Yeah, definitely. I mean, the whole thing is going to be, he's still going to continue like leading these psychos. Like it's going to be, like I don't know, like the anti-president kind of thing. I bet.
Yeah.
Um,
So let me go to this one. I got some stuff here bookmarked. So.
Fuck Antifa! Fuck Antifa! Fuck Antifa! Fuck Antifa! Fuck Antifa! Fuck Antifa! Fuck Antifa!
it's like
Fuck Antifa! 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 Fuck Antifa!
oh, real cool.
Fuck Antifa! Fuck Antifa!
It's like even if like if I was those guys,
Yeah.
and I was trying to like deny that I was a fascist, I would pick another group to make the boogeyman, right? So I wasn't
I mean,
constantly
they
yelling.
listen to Trump. I mean, they listen to Trump, and he makes Antifa the boogeyman and
Yeah.
turns them into makes an organization out of an idea, which stands for anti-fascism. So I mean, they're fully on brand with that as far as them being fascist.
Mm-hmm. What else does he say?
Let's see, the counter protesters were out there too. Looks like we had some anarcho Bidenists out there in the streets.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, check it out. Let's see. Let's go anarcho Bidenists. Say what you want. At least they got more rhythm.
I don't know. It's pretty cringe.
Oh, you don't like that song, bro? Come on. That's not cringe at all. What are you talking about? Let's see. A few Biden supporters came out to counter protest. The crowd of Trump supporters followed them up to 14th Street.
It's so funny. Like Trump is trying to like brag about the crowd at this,
Right.
But like they stabbed 3 people. So
Yeah.
you're bragging about that? Like those are your boys? History will show that President
right,
Trump
Rad
had the
Libs.
greatest.
Get it, anarcho Bidenists.
We love Pennsylvania. We love Michigan. We love Wisconsin.
Oh my god.
Man,
Fucking nerds.
such edgy and anarcho Bidenists out there in the streets.
Oh good. Biden supporters. Trump retweeted this Mark 11 shit. History will show that President Trump had the greatest, most effective response to a pandemic in world history. Like, I don't know about that, bro.
Tell it to the dead bodies. So let's see. There's another one. Apparently, they're not done cleansing the street. Let's see.
Yeah, cleansing the street. Did they not realize that is literally like fascist?
Yeah, there you go. Bro, come on, you gotta get rid of these chuds in the fucking chat, man. What's going
on?
Later. All right.
Peter North is dropping loads. Who is that?
I don't know.
No,
I don't mind the porn guy. I already threw out the other one.
This guy fucking saying some racist shit. What's going on?
Let's see.
I mean, I don't know. They're fucking. It's just desperate now, you know. They like.
I mean, it's pretty clear desperation. I guess it's what do you call it? Small penis anger. I don't know.
The odd ones out, Lezu. What is that? It's on, been verified. No, not you, Nicola. The other guy did. I blocked him.
Yeah.
You're cool. I mean, you know. I mean, you're wrong, but like you're not like offensive.
Yeah. No. Let's see. Got a comment here. This is the start of the Civil War. Thanks for screwing up my name. I mean, we did speculate that things could turn violent. I mean, as far as at least they're known to have guns out there. I mean, you can say that part of it, right? So,
I mean, yeah. They're,
Or at least
I
not
think
yet.
that. I mean, I think that they are gonna keep doing shit like this.
Mhm.
You know, like there might be some more. You know, like like the the El Paso shit and the Dylan Roof like shit like that. Like
Right.
you know, like terror attacks. But like, I don't think. I mean, I don't know. It's just like I wish they would just let these fuckers just not even show up. You know, like.
Let's see. Proud Boys just stabbed 3 people tonight. Intense exchange. Protesters were outnumbered. Proud Boys, one of the organizers of the Million Maga March, are roaming around D.C. right now, beating and stabbing people, which is precisely why they shouldn't be allowed to go unchallenged on the streets. So that's from New York City Antifa.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to be like, oh, we're being victimized and attacked, and it's like you are in the same tweets you're saying like, yeah, these are our streets and we're gonna, we're on the prowl, and then they're like, oh yeah, and by the way, Antifa started it.
Right.
This is like people live there, and then these assholes just like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
it's
hiding
funny, like,
and then hiding behind the cops when they do that shit.
yeah. What do you mean deny Antifa thuggery? What do you like? It's just so bizarre. Like that's your worldview that these guys can go out there and just they're literally roaming the streets looking for a fight. Like they're like literally like outwardly saying it, and then you're like, oh, by the way, if there's a fight,
they have an
it wasn't
initiation
us.
ritual. Does it involve bending over?
No. The only person I blocked was somebody who said something racist, and it was definitively racist. So I'm letting you guys fucking say all your shit you want, but if you're gonna fucking go there, you're not gonna. I'm gonna block you. They're barely even educated.
Oh God! Fuck! This dude just say Cheerios and Frosted Flakes.
Yeah, that's the thing. They have to say cereal while they get beat up.
What? Okay, I wasn't far off with what I thought it was gonna be. Oh shit! that was funny. Let's see.
Fucking Michael Tracy. The key difference between Dem and GOP claims of election fraud: the Dem claims get amplified eagerly by every organ of mainstream establishment opinion. Conversely, GOP claims are the subject to a barrage of disclaimers and censorship, declaring them authoritatively to be false.
Did you see,
I mean, well, I don't remember specifically what they were saying in 2016, but what kind of claims they were making. But like, yeah, these claims should have disclaimers because they're all, there's no proof of anything, right? It's all like just conjecture and theory and like trying to disenfranchise people for, like, oh, we didn't have as many watchers as we wanted, and our watchers were too far away, so therefore you need to throw out like 500,000 votes, right?
Let's go to this one.
Back up!
So like, since this is like a right-wing source, we come in like in the middle of everything and don't see what happened beforehand, right?
Right,
Like,
exactly.
they just get them like obviously like fleeing something, but it just I guess that was just a a natural let's see, I'm looking at Trump stuff.
Let's see this one.
Tremendous evidence of widespread voter fraud, in that there is irrefutable proof that our Republican poll watchers and observers were not allowed to be present in poll counting rooms. Michigan, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and others unconstitutional. So that's his claim.
Yeah, that's a claim right now that his poll watchers weren't allowed inside the counting rooms.
So
I mean,
I think,
are we kind of past that point yet? I mean, most people do not believe that shit anymore, right?
he's still doing it.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure he's still doing it, but I mean, okay, so just to go back to what has been going on in the middle of that, so this is from the election case in PA. So, this is a Bush-appointed judge too. So, are your observers allowed in the counting room? There's a non-zero number of people in the room. Judge, are people representing Trump for president in that room? Lawyer, yes. I'm sorry, then what's your problem?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Voter fraud was not brought up in 2016. Why?
What do you mean voter fraud was automatically brought up in 2016? Don't you remember that whole claim that millions of illegal immigrants voted for Hillary and that's why she won the popular vote?
Yeah. Even and then like Paul Ryan was saying, oh, it's very suspicious that these California votes are taking so long to count. Like, even after he won,
right.
Still,
I mean, they still
was
couldn't
trying to call.
I mean, that was just like an ego trip at that point, right?
Yeah.
I mean, shit, he won the fucking thing, couldn't let it go, and then decided to say that, oh, there was a bunch of millions of illegal. I mean, why would the millions of illegal immigrants illegally vote in states that it's not consequential to the election anymore?
So dumb though. Like, you ever Sam Cedar had a good I think it was Sam Cedar. Somebody was talking about it, and they were like, you ever on the highway and the car in front of you is going, 5 miles below the speed limit, and you're trying to figure out what's going on, and finally you pass them.
We have a question here. Why does it get dismissed when Trump accuses Dems of fraud? Because it's baseless.
It was dismissed in court.
It's
Every single
baseless.
court he brought it in.
Did you see what I just pulled up? Y'all look really closely about what the fuck I pulled up. If he had a claim,
trust me, we're not like Democrats. Neither of us voted for Biden.
No.
But if there was a good claim, I would totally back it. I just haven't seen anything that looked like it was at all worth the time. Like, every single thing was trying to get people's votes thrown out on technicalities.
Yeah.
Every single case that they've put forward has been about our poll watchers were too far away, or they weren't at exactly where we wanted them, or you wouldn't let me have this other poll watcher. You had to have the one who was registered. I was a poll worker in Chicago. Every single moment, the votes are guarded by a Republican and a Democrat, nonstop.
Dynamite.
And especially if they're in the big room, there's dozens of people in there.
See, can you guys play Dynamite Headache on stream? What's that about?
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that is, bro. Let's see. Let me go to another video here. Dozens of Proud Boys gather.
What's that?
Oh, wait a minute. The chuds here feel ignored.
What's his full statement?
See, you guys are bullshit. You ignored his full statement. What's his full statement? What?
I've been reading Trump's Twitter feed the whole night. I just reading it on stream. I don't know what you're talking about.
Are you talking about Nicola's statement or Trump's bullshit statement? Are you really? What else do you want to hear from this? If there was a case to be made.
The story, yeah. Cedar was saying you get people, you see them going too slow. It's because it's illegal immigrants trying not to get pulled over, right? That there's no way you would go like you're here illegally, you're like risking everything, and you want to go try to sign up and vote for somebody else that doesn't, like you're that interested in going to vote that you would seriously risk being deported.
Is this what y'all guys are talking about? But when Hillary says it's 4 years of nothing burger courts. What, Hillary was, that whole Russiagate thing was bullshit too. What do you want
we
to
said it the
say?
whole time.
Yeah.
But like I said, the thing that
her
I said
ego
about
was
Hillary's,
just as bruised as his now. I mean, what the fuck you want to say? What, you want us to defend Hillary? Were you expecting that?
No, we're not. But
no,
I gotta say, the difference between that and this is like, yeah, it was incredibly cringe. All their Russia shit was just, there was, unfounded and, lame as hell. But like, at least they had won the popular vote.
Right.
They had, no matter what, at the end of the day, they still had
some kind of
3 million
validity
more
to
votes.
at least say that, the electoral college is bullshit. I mean, it's a system, but you at least have that position because, I mean, the majority, how many of the last elections you had, Bush lost the popular vote in 2000.
They won 1 of the last 8.
Yeah,
I think.
1 of the last 8, right? Did you say? Yeah.
I think 1 of the last 8. I think Bush in 04.
Bush won in 04 over Kerry, the popular vote, and then Obama won twice. Trump lost the popular vote, and then Bush lost 1 of the popular votes, and then Clinton won the last 2 before that popular vote. So, I mean,
here to show that we're not partisan. Did you see this thing Kyle tweeted?
Let's see. Did you send it to me?
I think it's from the debate in 2008. Mike Gravel.
Let's go to it.
Gravel.
Oh yeah. Let's show some Mike Gravel. Yeah, this has all been horribly depressing. So let's go to it.
Some of these people frighten me. They frighten me.
Fucking Hillary's cackle.
You're right, I made that statement, but that's before I had a chance to stand with them a couple, 3 times. It's like going into the Senate. The first time you get there, you're all excited. My God, how did I ever get here? Then about 6 months later, you say, how the hell did the rest of them get here? and I got to tell you, after standing up with them, some of these people frighten me. They frighten me. When you have mainline candidates that turn around and say that there's nothing off the table with respect to Iran, that's code for using nukes, nuclear devices. I got to tell you, I'm President of the United States. There will be no preemptive wars with nuclear devices. To my mind, it's immoral, and it's been immoral for the last 50 years as part of American foreign policy.
Let's use a little moderator discretion here. Senator Gravel, that's a weighty charge. Who on this stage exactly tonight worries you so much?
Well, I would say the top-tier ones. The top-tier ones. They made statements. Oh, Joe, I'll include you, too. You have a certain arrogance. You want to tell the Iraqis how to run their country. I got to tell you, we should just plain get out. Just plain get out. It's their country. They're asking us to leave, and we insist on staying there.
He sounds radical, but that was what the majority of the country wanted.
No, it's true.
You hear the statement, well, my God, the soldiers will have died in vain. The entire deaths of Vietnam died in vain. And they're dying in vain right this very second. You know what's worse than a soldier dying in vain? Is more soldiers dying in vain. That's what's worse.
I mean, that's how Obama won, right? Well, the big reason he won because it was he was going to get us out.
Well, that, and then he had the excuse to say that he didn't vote for the war in Iraq. So, but I mean, do you think he would have voted against it if he was in the Senate at that point?
I mean, he claims he would have, but I doubt it.
It's,
because he got in, and then what did he do?
Let's all just accept the only reason we're here is because you typed in MAGA million and selected a live feed. Oh, that's nice. We appreciate y'all joining us. Yeah, did you catch that fascist frenzy too? And bet y'all were hip to jump on that one. But let's go to, let's see, we have more clips from these motherfuckers.
Yeah. The difference between us though is like we will call out everybody who's like lying to the who's lying and full of shit and not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Like I very rarely that I see anybody on the right criticize anybody else on the right.
Yeah.
So maybe consider that.
Let's see this one.
Fuck your mask! Fuck your mask! Fuck your mask! Fuck your mask! What? Fuck your mask! 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 Fuck your mask!
What are they?
You know, I think they're wrong, but like I can kind of respect somebody who. I mean, I guess I'm not gonna say respect them. They're being selfish, but like not wearing a mask is one thing, but then trying to like make fun of people for not wearing a mask,
right?
And, like attack them for doing it. That's really fucking bizarre to me.
Yeah.
170,000 people got sick yesterday. Thousands more died, and you're gonna be like trying to like dunk on people for wearing a mask.
Right. Let's see this one. Trump followers chanted Alex Jones as they marched to the Supreme Court.
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
Let's go to this one.
Alex Jones! Alex Jones! Alex Jones! Alex Jones!
Wow. Jesus. All right.
I don't use the term Nazi and fascist interchangeably.
Wait.
I don't think I did.
Do you really have to go ahead and explain why Nazis are fascist? I mean, is that where we are?
I mean, there are a variety of them, but they're, you know, like Nazis are the ones who are into like racial, like eugenics type shit, right?
Yeah.
Like fascists are just into authoritarian, you know, corporate oligarchy, you know, or whatever.
All right, so just a Trump supporter claiming dead animals voted for Joe Biden. How about we go to this one? This should be entertaining.
If you can breathe, you're gonna get a ballot. Breathing is ballot worthy.
And the animal had like died maybe a couple years ago, but for some reason the name of the animal came up with the ballot. Plus other people have said that they go to the polls and they found out that they've already voted, which is incorrect. So, you know, there's just a lot of different instances out there where basically there is a lot of fraud in the elections.
Biden crime family's trying to steal this election. The media's covering it up.
Like you said, a lot of it's being covered up. Is that what it is? Like nobody's, because that's the first I've heard about animals, and I've heard dead people getting ballots and voting. Yeah, so
I heard about the guy who requested a ballot for his dead mother so he could vote for Trump twice.
All right.
Covered that last night.
My son had received a ballot in my name in Pennsylvania for another election. How on earth, because I've never used his address for anything, but like I said, he said, I got a ballot for you, plus it wasn't even in my given name, it was in a nickname of mine. So, like
so
just pick anything up and send it out, doesn't matter.
That sounds like, if anything, you requested an extra ballot.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only reason they send it to you is if somebody requested it for you, right? So, I mean, I would probably have a talk with her son about that.
Yeah, both candidates suck. That's why, like, yeah, Biden sucks, man. What do you like? We're not saying Biden doesn't suck. Like, watch any of our streams. We hate Biden like almost as much. It's just Trump has the same politics, and he's incompetent, and he like deliberately makes shit worse. All of his culture war stuff about the masks and all was just so bizarre and counterproductive, and I don't understand why it wasn't clear to everybody that he was doing a bad job. Like, the schools can't open because the schools can't open because they haven't gotten federal funding to, you know, beef up their you know, COVID preparedness. Why do you think they haven't gotten federal funding? What fucking asshole would go on TV like that all summer and be like, folks, I can't give any money to the states because those blue states, they would just waste it on their pensions. It's just like, who would say that? It's so fucking, like, first of all, it's wrong, like on its face, on its face, it's wrong. And second of all, it's like not productive. Even if it was true, you are the leader. You have even in those deep blue states, 30-something% of California voted for Trump. You know, like 40-something% of Illinois voted for Trump. So all those people you don't care? You know, like those are your voters too. And to leave them fucking hanging just because you want to try to like own the libs is really bizarre to me. And I don't understand why that wasn't clear to everybody. I mean, I guess it's tribal, right? Like you're in that corner. So everything they do is okay, no matter how fucking terrible it is, objectively terrible. Like,
let's see. Do we have any more stuff up here from this?
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of how I feel. It's like Biden doing nothing is better than Trump trying to sell pillows or fake pills and whacking off Nazis. Exactly. Like,
yeah, exactly.
He is making things worse. That's, like why I think Biden was slightly better pick this time, even though he's terrible. Like all that shit, he's, going to send your jobs overseas. He's going to do all that terrible stuff. But like Trump is making it worse, man. If Trump had just come out in the beginning and worn a mask and been honest about the shit he said to that reporter, it would have been a drastically different situation. We would have had so many less deaths and we would be done with it by now. That's the other thing. This shit keeps dragging on because they keep like taking down the lockdown, reopening businesses, and then like flaunting, like going around and like making a big thing out of the masks. They're like, make it a culture war issue to wear a mask or not. So you have assholes who are like proudly not wearing their mask because they think it's like, to own the libs or whatever. So it's dumb. Like, Biden is leading for total world control.
Oh, here we go.
So like, New World Order, like.
Let's go to this one. Let's see. Trump supporter yelling at DC police telling them to pick a side.
Yeah, they did pick a side.
We back you in New York. We back you in Pennsylvania. We back you in California. Thanks for backing us. Y'all gonna choose a side too. Cowards. You're a fucking coward. Fuck you. We back your fucking ass. We do. You fucking better know who's on your fucking side. Know who's on your side. They are not. They're not on your side. We are.
Oh, damn. I mean, they're not on their side enough? I mean, shit.
We just saw them like running to protect them from
right?
the
I mean, how many times were they doing that shit? Protecting them, marching alongside them? I don't see them getting tear gas. That dude didn't get bear maced.
Exactly. Domestic tranquility. Trump would have fucking owned if he had just done like a halfway decent job with the pandemic. Like, and the only reason it was so close was because Biden is such a terrible candidate.
I mean, that was in reality, like that the whole COVID shit has been a fucking test for him, and he could have handled it in a variety of different ways, and he picked the worst possible way to deal with the pandemic. Whole thing,
like with the protests too, like he deliberately did that wrong. Like Obama did the same shit. He cracked down hard. He sent the feds into Baltimore. He sent the feds into Standing Rock. Like Obama was not a friend to the protest. Like the quicker you guys see that there's very little difference between the Democrats and the Republicans, the quicker we can work on fixing everything.
All right.
Because I feel like people on the right get so caught up with this.
All right. Trump can control the states. No, but what would be the attitude of the country if he had come out on day one and said, all right, we have to respond very strongly, folks. We have to wear masks and control this pandemic.
Worn a giant MAGA mask the whole time.
If you would have just worn a giant MAGA mask on day one, you would have had people flocking to help him get reelected by buying MAGA masks and wearing them all over the fucking place. Just do that. Just one little thing. And even though it's self-aggrandizing, you could have just fixed the whole fucking, at least a majority of the big fucking problem if he just does that one little fucking thing. That even then is still self-serving.
And like this, the attempt to privatize everything and try to run everything with free market forces working. Well, it's not a free market because it's government subsidized, but to have
Fauci said no masks at first. Yeah, but what did we just hear him say? He was on fucking tape saying wear masks. He said he was out there. He stopped the plan from the post office to send masks to the whole country. That was what he did.
Yeah.
He knew he knew that was gonna help, and he didn't do it because he didn't want to start a panic, apparently. And by panic, he meant a fucking stock market crash.
All he fucking cares about is the stock market, rich people's money. That's all he cares about. That's all most of them care about. It's like pretty much their entire agenda is protecting their donors and protecting the 1%'s interest. That's all they've done since in my lifetime. That's all they've done. Both parties have just been on a single-minded mission to keep the rich and fucking fuck over everybody else. Like, you guys get distracted with this culture war nonsense, and these issues are like so inconsequential, but it's so tribalistic. Everybody has to like own the libs, you know, and it's just silly. Like, you're making these choices that are contrary to everyone's best interests just because it's your team and you want to be on your team.
Yeah, I mean, I
really
guess.
like, you know, like, it's nice on the left. We don't have a team. We, you know, everybody's bad. You know, like, we don't have to like defend shitty politicians, you know.
Yeah, let's see what else
I
we
mean,
have out here.
I wouldn't, he didn't even need to do the mask thing if he had just said, look, we're, you know, don't, you know, folks, like, we're running out of masks. Like, don't go buy all the masks. The nurses need them. But we just ask you to, you know, take an old T-shirt, take a bandana, make your own masks. You know, that, like, the New World Order, we already do kind of, I mean, it's the oligarchy, right? The global oligarchy. Yeah. Billionaires run the world, right? They buy and sell politicians. They do coups. They do whatever they want to maintain control, and it's all about.
And they distract everybody by turning them on each other with this culture war bullshit.
Exactly. They've been doing it since the fucking, you know, the beginning of history, like all throughout time. The Romans that did that shit. They like divide people, divide the working people, so they don't notice they're being robbed from the top. Right? The UN has no power. The UN's power is what we give it. You know, like, the UN only has power in so much as the US and a few other countries fund it, right?
Yeah.
Like, if we don't want the UN to do something, they don't do it. Like,
exactly.
You know. I wouldn't be scared of a New World Order, though. I don't know. That's not something to be scared of. Like, what's to be scared of is the status quo. Like, I don't know if you've noticed, but 20-something% of the country is unemployed. Millions of people are facing eviction. There's like people are losing their health care left and right.
And when he promised universal health care, one of the things he came out and said he was going to do was get a universal health care plan in place. Where is that?
Yeah, exactly. Trump ran on having universal health care, and then less people are covered now than they were when he started. Millions of people are losing their insurance. Like, Bill, they're trying to make martial law. I don't know what bill that is, but I don't know what, like, martial law, like the
right from Tekken.
Well, like, the army only does what the leadership wants them to do.
Right.
You know, like, it's not, they can't like they don't have an independent power structure to run the country on their own. Like I said, they're just doing what the 1% wants them to do. There's a few dozen like billionaires.
Exactly. Here we go. Healthcare is easy. Big beautiful healthcare for everybody. That's exactly what he came out and said. And he then he talked about the Australian system as a 2-tiered system for healthcare, and talked about how that should be like the model or the goal. You know.
What up, PJ?
What's going on, PJ?
Yeah, he could have done Trump care, and he would have been like on fucking Mount Rushmore.
You know, he could have he could have done this from the beginning. And, you know, I brought this up a couple of times too, and this would have been a good little right-wing populist policy to do, which is the Medicare for All plan, but then take out the fucking pro-choice aspect of it, and then just talk about how this is exactly what we need for the working class, because that's what he was doing all when he was running in 2016 about draining the swamp.
Dude.
Drain the swamp of all these healthcare lobbyists, these insurance lobbyists. That's all he needed to do. If he would have done that this time around, he would have had a bunch of more people vote for him.
Universities are left-wing, businesses are left-wing, high schools are left-wing, cities are left-wing. How is being right-wing the status quo?
Oh my God.
Because the difference between what you perceive as left-wing and the ruling structure of the country is just it's cosmetic, right? Like they're
Yeah. No, when you boil down the economic policies, the distance between them is what, that thin?
there's barely anything at all. It's like that used to be something that the Democrats used to be like a labor party.
Right.
Like they used to stand up for like unions and like protect the workers' rights. And then since the 70s and 80s, they haven't done that. So it's all just been, they have these issues that they know are wedge issues. They have
exactly
like abortion and gay rights and like immigration.
And then the damn culture war, the race stuff. They try to, and then then you have the Dems trying to turn a fucking working class into a dog whistle, and somehow it's not about class. It's somehow about only white people that are part of the working class. Like the rest of us don't fucking work out here. You like fucking kidding me? You don't see where they're on a united front, and then you get distracted more on these little wedge issue bullshits that then you don't pay attention to the actual issues that they unite on and hold up against the rest of us. I mean, is it really that complicated?
I mean, that Great Purge, mass genocide stuff, that's pretty bizarre, man. Like, you got to follow the money, right?
Yeah.
If there's not a financial interest involved, you're not going to see them doing it. Yeah. Like, they're clearly just enacting that whatever policy is in the best interest of the ruling class. That's what our government does. Mm-hmm. You can trace back the money, and you see every single interest is just being done at the behest of one like industry or interest group or something like that. Yeah. It's all it's a sad, right? But like all we can do is unite. They're going to kill so many people. It's all about population control. No, where's the financial interest in that? That's what I'm saying, man. Like, people are going to die from lack of dealing with climate change, right? That's why people are going to die. Like, they're going to die because entire areas of the country are going to be uninhabitable in 10 years.
Let me go to this video, bro.
Yeah, people will die. It's not some sort of like give it back your phone.
Okay, well, that might have not been a face-off. That might have just been a white girl losing her phone.
Can't reason with certain people.
No, I don't.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like you can reason with a lot of people unless you're just like a racist or something. Like you have like, deep-seated like animosity for the other, then, maybe you can't reason with them. But most people, I feel like they're just victims of the propaganda. They're just victims of the disingenuous media, right? And we're not saying the liberal media doesn't do it too, because they definitely do.
The liberal media, it's a fucking corporate media. I mean, what?
Yeah, like they do the exact same shit.
They feed into that same fucking narrative, and they tear people apart. I mean, where do you think talking points like the white working class shit comes from?
Yeah, they weaponize identity politics in order to demonize some and big up other ones, right? They do it in a way to keep the ruling class on top. And you'll notice that whenever that shit is done, it's always about maintaining the status quo, maintaining the existing power structures, the existing hierarchies. It's never about actually like liberating anybody or improving lives for working people. It's never like that. It's all just cosmetic shit. Like,
all right, let's see. Are there more videos about this stuff? Do you see anything else over there?
I
mean, other than this, where is it? Opposing protesters clash in Washington, D.C. Flying a big-ass Confederate flag.
Industrial Society, and that's Kaczynski's thing. I've read parts of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's loud enough that moves the right will drive a lot of folks further into this cult-like thing. It's been building since the 80s with talk radio. Yeah, I mean, I see. I mean, that's the the pessimistic side. Like I do think that's a definite possibility. But I also feel like, I mean, maybe eventually they'll catch on that they're being screwed. I mean, I keep thinking that's any day now, but I think that more. That's why I think we need a distinct third party, right? Because that's the problem is if people on the right see the Democrats and see the liberals as the the alternative, right? And they see how terrible, like bad faith, disingenuous they are, like all that, like empty, like woke, performative, just like gestures like that. They'll see that like that's not something you'd want to be like, oh well, those guys obviously know what they're talking about. It's just like a bullshit version of what you're already following. It's what you're already, your conservative identity, right? It's not like, I mean, it's not a good alternative. Right. But if we had a legit third party, a legit like social democratic party, that was pushing for, better wages, better healthcare, better education, like I think it would be a viable alternative. People would see that there was a difference, like in the UK. It's like they have Labour, they have Conservatives, and they have the Lib Dems. Lib Dems are like our Democrats, and it's like less than 10% of the country. Very few people want that. Very few people have that kind of like corporate ideology.
I mean, unless you have a vested interest in it, I don't know how you gravitate towards it as a policy position. But let's see, they'll be aware of getting screwed, but it's gonna target the wrong targets. It's gonna be that right populism that leads to the fascist stuff. I mean, that's the thing. Populism works in both directions. That's why Trump tore through the field in 2016. All of those were a bunch of right-wing corporate stooges, and they couldn't stand up to a right-wing populist. So that argument works. It depends on who's delivering it and how much backing or how much substance there is behind running on that way. I mean, in a lot of ways, like what I've said before, is Trump was almost like a GOP Obama, in which Obama ran as a populist and governed like a corporatist, and that's very much what Trump did.
Yeah, I agree with that. Definitely. They
let's go to this one.
But I mean, they're going to have to continue capitalizing on that populist animosity, right? Like,
I mean, they're going to have to adopt that populist messaging,
and they're going to have
to the GOP to be valid.
And they also are going to have to continue appealing to more of the working class voters that came out for them, right? Like that's going to have to be their strategy going forward, because if it's just like, like Ted Cruz or whatever tries to run on like a pre-Trump platform, nobody's going to vote for that. Right?
To get a third party, the U.S. needs to change the voting system away from first past the poll system.
Yeah, the what's it called? Ranked choice voting, I think, is a real possibility, but it's just like there's so many pressing issues, right? Like there's so many things to organize around that it's really hard to see people going all in on something like that.
Here we go. What happens when someone like Trump gets into power but is actually a fascist?
Yeah, that's what we're saying. Like you have, if somebody were to do, because I feel like Trump is just, was kind of lazy, right? Like he wasn't interested so much as like, remaking the country as himself, like in his image. Like he was more interested in like, self-aggrandizement, getting in and hooking up, making himself look good, and then hooking up his buddies. Like he wasn't an ideological fascist. Like he wasn't, like he might be racist, right? But he's not like, his thing wasn't to like, marginalize people further, right? He wasn't trying to make like a tiered society.
No.
If it happened to work that way,
but
it's down.
No, but you had that again from mainstream media, where it was a lot of orange man bad fear mongering, where they try to blow him up into being Mussolini, and you had a bunch of libs going ahead and buying into that, and getting sucked into all the fear mongering. And no, I mean, I wouldn't really go and characterize him as a full-on fascist. I mean, or else I think we'd be in a worse situation than we are right now, and there'd be somebody a lot more competent at the head of that. You know, so.
I mean, yeah, that's the problem. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's hard to say how things are going to shake out, but like if the media was against Trump, you know.
Well, they were.
I guess they didn't take him seriously, right?
Well, I don't know. They like to use them for ratings. I don't know if they thought he could win, but they were out there putting him on Morning Joe every fucking day, like it was going out of fucking style. So
it drove me nuts though, the way they made it like he made him this like bad guy from the beginning, and it was all this like this Russia shit, right? Like they constantly were doing that, and then it just ruined any kind of like productive relationship he could have had with the Democrats, right? The Democrats were just dead set on denying him his legitimacy of actually winning and trying to make it like he was some sort of like foreign puppet or whatever.
Yeah.
And the whole time, and it just like of course he's not going to work with you if that's what you're saying, right? Like they could have had a much more productive relationship with him. They could have actually, you know, got some shit together and worked on an infrastructure bill or done healthcare reform, any of the stuff that he wanted to do. They couldn't do because they were too busy calling him Putin's puppet the whole time, you know. And
then meanwhile he did everything policy-wise to prove that he wasn't. I mean, that's what he kept doing. All these needless sanctions just to heighten tensions with Russia, just so they would stop calling him a Russian puppet, when meanwhile it was never going to work because they already ran with that fucking narrative. And you had Rachel Maddow going out there on her long-ass diatribes trying to, you know, just not even sounding all that different from somebody like Alex Jones as far as way of those conspiracy theories she was weaving on a nightly basis.
Yeah, totally unhinged. Just, but and it's like, I don't know if that was I feel like they were butthurt about Hillary. You know,
of course they all were. They
didn't want to admit that, like, you know, Hillary had lost because she sucked. You know, nobody liked her.
Would, and that's the same thing that you see now. Well, just to read this comment really fast, Trump just sort of lucked into fascism. Well, I think that had to do a lot with having Steve Bannon run his messaging, because a lot of that right-wing populist rhetoric came from him. And to his credit, I mean, he helped Trump run a much better campaign in 2016 than he did now. So.
Yeah, well, I think, like I said before about Bannon, like I used to respect him a good deal. I thought, you know, he knows the score a little bit. But then the more I think about it and the more I kind of like analyze his comings and goings, I think that he just is trying to start a war with China, right? That's his goal. So yeah, he wants to do a lot of America First policies. He wants to, like, you know, repatriate these jobs and that kind of thing in the supply chain, so that we have the independence to go after China like he wants to do. And that's scary, man. I don't know why anybody would want that. Like, we have like a symbiotic relationship with them now, right? Like, and it's pretty productive for, I mean, not necessarily for the American workers. Like, we're screwed, you know, our jobs are outsourced and the wages are, you know, slashed. But any kind of like increase in military tension with them is a bad look for the entire world. There's no benefit to that. Like, there's nothing that there's nothing America could get from them. You know, like, I don't understand what anybody actually wants to achieve in some sort of like confrontation with them. It's just a lot of death and destruction for, you know, like points on the scoreboard, you know, like what, for like, you know, Taiwan's honor, you know, what, I just don't see how that could be any kind of, and like that Trump's like anti-war rhetoric, I feel like was a big selling point.
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
I think
people
it was
like that about him.
We've been on when the whole Middle East shit happened this time around. What, 2000, 2001, right? No, it was what, 2002 officially. 2003 was like the height of the Iraq War. We've been in war.
We've been at war. Iraq in spring of 2003.
Yeah, so we've been at war for the last 17, 18, going on 18 years. Yeah. Where you have people that have had kids that first went to that war, and then you have those kids growing up to actually serve in the same war. Yeah. Who wants to live in a country like that where you're in a state of perpetual war?
It's so expensive. We spend $1 trillion every year on the fucking military budget. That's more than the next 10 countries combined. It's not going to benefit any working people in America. It's only going to benefit the shareholders and the rich industrialists who run those
And
companies.
that's exactly what they went ahead and did. As soon as they were able to get control of that country, it was all about the energy oligarchs that were looking to go ahead and rip apart the infrastructure.
Yeah, it's that, but I think what it's mostly about is opening up new markets for American capital to sell to. Right? Like you go and you fucking like flatten Afghanistan and just go in it and recreate everything. So first of all, we're spending, what is it? It's like $15 million a day or $50 million a day or something we spend in Afghanistan, all going to contractors to just go and rebuild shit and make places for Americans to sell shit to. Like we're trying to make an economy from scratch solely so that we can sell them our shit, right? That's the goal in Afghanistan now. That's why we've been there for 20 years. It's going to try to make the market safe for American capitalism. Like,
let me go to another one of these videos. Let's see. There's a thread here.
The Ku Klux Klan thing is funny.
All right, let's see.
Yeah, we need to get that war on Christmas. We need to ramp that up.
This is Portland Antifa press right here. This one right here? Right here. That's down today. She loves to dox people. Right here, this bitch.
What's up, bitch? How you
Please
doing?
don't step on my foot.
Hi, bitch. How you doing, bitch? What's up? How you doing, bitch? All the way from Portland? It's your little maggot ass.
Do not touch me.
Maggot ass? I'm not touching you.
Yes, you actually are. You definitely are, and I need you to stop,
Don't video me.
None of your friends would come.
I'm allowed to video.
Okay,
you're
well,
not
I'm allowed to
touch me.
fucking be standing right fucking
You absolutely
here.
are, but if you touch
Yeah,
me,
what's up,
that's
you
not
stupid
okay.
bitch? What's up? I can't wait to see you in the fucking lobby again. What's up?
Is that a threat?
Are we coming?
What's going to happen to me in the lobby? Can you
Nothing.
elaborate?
What's up? You want to keep recording? You ain't gonna do nothing. Keep recording. You ain't.
Shit, man.
Like, how is that tough? I don't understand.
Ugh.
Like, it's just, oh, let me go pick on this woman. Like, what?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. It's just like the whole thing, too, is like, I said last night, like, them trying to make Trump, like, macho is really weird to me because he's, like, so dainty. You know, he's such, like, a whiny, like,
you know, and that's
Facebook boomer.
Yeah.
You know?
You know, and that's the other thing that we've mentioned a couple of times. You know, with Hillary and her loss, the reaction from supporters and the media that supported her as well wasn't, okay, what was wrong with the candidate? What did we do wrong as far as messaging and reaching out to voters? It was Russia. It was the fault of the voters. It was the fault of third parties. That was the knee-jerk reaction. It wasn't okay, let's check our own shit and see what we fucked up with. It wasn't that. And then you see that happening with Trump when you see right-wingers out there blaming libertarian voters, and you don't ask, all right, what did Trump do differently that he wasn't as successful as he was last time? Why did he fail? Where did he go wrong? What did we do wrong when we're trying to get people to come to our side? It was none of that interested in the thought process, you know. But
What's this Cassandra Fairbanks thing? Nothing. Looks like I see more stabbing. 7 people.
Seven
Up to
people?
7 stabbing.
Send that over to me, bro.
I mean, it's just. Let's see. Who's this guy?
Let's see what else is saying.
No, I mean, it's not confirmed. I don't want to share it. 11,666. Yeah.
Let's see what else we find out here. Yeah, I don't see anything else about that. The stabbing, anyway. Oh, there we go. There's a clip from somebody apparently that did get stabbed.
Can you show it? I think that's probably.
Well, no, it's not. It's the aftermath. It's not the actual
The
stabbing.
comrade gets stabbed, and I kind of like get my comrade out of the way, and all of a sudden there's a knife in me, and I look down.
There was a knife in you. Where?
Yeah, like right, like center mass.
Okay.
So it's like a big knife because I look down and I see it sticking out.
Yeah.
And the Proud Boy or whatever the fuck, the white supremacist looks at me, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Rip the knife out, get him away from me, and just start pushing our people back. Like, it was just all out
You
war.
pulled the knife out of this.
Out of this.
Wow. Could
And
you
like-
use your hands again to show how big the knife was?
Like about here, just yank out. And I will say that there was 2 MPD sergeants sitting right behind the chaos in the war when it was going on. Sergeant Jackson, and he just sat there and just laughed and was like, "You're so big and bad, y'all are so big and bad, deal with them."
Really? Said you're also big and bad, deal with it. Did you inform them that you were stabbed in there?
We told him a lot of us got stabbed, and Officer Jackson just kind of like chuckled and like just shrugged it off like it was nothing.
Okay. And for those who don't know, you have been at these protests and you always wear the vest. And I believe that was in a response to the rubber bullets that have been fired
Yeah,
throughout
it was in
protests.
July. We got a couple death threats, and we were like, nah, can't take the chance. And thank God we didn't take the chance.
Listen, thank God you're wearing that. Is there anything you'd like to add?
This city is no place for white supremacists and racists.
Yeah.
And all I'm going to tell you is go home. Stop coming out here trying to stab black and brown individuals who just want a better community.
Thank you.
Damn.
Yeah, what? Like, why can't they just fight with their fists? I don't know why they have to, be out there with their
Yeah,
stabbings.
I mean, it had to be in a pretty good vest. It's probably saved his ass.
Yeah. And the kid, it's like, he knows what he's doing. Looks like some expensive equipment, too.
Yeah, I mean, that was in response. I mean, at least if you want to look for a silver lining to the cops being fucking hitting people with rubber bullets, at least they were starting to wearing protective equipment for when these guys came through with their damn knives.
See, World Economic Forum.
You're mentioned this dude, I think, before, Joey Camp.
Who?
Well, check it out.
Oh, you're just so tough with your friends around. Where your friends at?
Dude, this guy is...
Yeah, this guy. Go ahead, take my picture. We're in public. I don't give a fuck.
I don't know what's going on. I was fucking watching the Proud Boys.
This bitch gets my fucking
Bitch?
screaming. Yeah, I heard.
Really?
Oh, I know what it is. Joey, I heard that you were doxing people.
Let me see you walking around by yourself tonight, bitch.
Really?
Is it true that you're doxing people, Joey?
No, go get that shit right now.
That's the guy.
You're the one walking away.
That's the guy who drinks his piss, right?
In a minute, you're
Is it true that you're doxing people, Joey?
Wow.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know if they purposely like believe all the caricatures and all of it, but it's like whenever you see those guys talking, it's like they get everything wrong about the left. Like they have no clue, like what our goals and priorities and agenda and all is, and it's just like, does that make you feel better about your position to think that there's this big like bad boogeyman who wants to like do white genocide and like expropriate all your housing and all? Like just because you see like some fucking teenager on like Twitter saying shit, it's not, that's not like the goals, right? Like mostly people just want like healthcare, like freedom to form unions and like minimum wage and not die in a climate dystopia. Like they're all good things. Like none of that stuff, like even if you're rich, I can't see how like anything would be too much. I feel like there would be a net positive if you just, you know, like like if we had done like Bernie's platform or like some of Bernie's platform, it's like there's very few people I can see who would have their position in the hierarchy seriously damaged, right? Like, yeah, if you're a millionaire, you're going to pay more in taxes, right? But I mean, I'm not sure that's like a, you know, like a taking, you know, like a constitutional taking, right? Like, it's, yeah, that's what I'm saying. People can't afford health care. It's like, I don't, if you don't see that, you're okay, you know, like you're doing okay, or your family is, or whatever. Like, other people are suffering, and I feel like people don't, end the war on drugs. Like, people are suffering, and I feel like if you're not suffering yourself, you tend to overlook that, you know, and it's just.
Proud Boys aren't white supremacists. Their
country.
leader is literally a black guy. Okay, yeah, they're not white supremacists.
I mean, call it what you want, man. Like, there's something like, they're.
I mean,
they're
did we miss the part where they're throwing around Nazi flags?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
They're like, I mean, I've heard it called civic nationalism, right? Like, which, like I said, like they want to protect the status quo, right? They want to protect like the current hierarchy as it is. So, you know, what do they say? Like Western chauvinist? Like, I mean, I feel like it's a little bit more than that, right? Like I mean, if I would be okay, like, not saying that they were specifically white supremacists if you think of a better name for what they want. Like, white supremacist just basically means like protect the current status quo with the, you know, the white man at the top of the hierarchy. Like, you know, it's like woke capitalism is still white supremacy. You know, like the Democrats are technically white supremacists if that's your you know, your
Steve Cox went ahead and commented on that Joey Camp dude just now.
Oh, Joey Camp.
Yeah, so let's see. This toddler with dirt on his chin is offering to use technology illegally to look up people for doxing. He ended up deleting that tweet.
Oh.
All right, see. Now might be a good time to remind everybody that over the summer, Joey Camp Film posted pictures of and doxed several minors. He then refused to take the pictures down after being repeatedly requested to do so.
Ooh. And this is like a streamer or like a, you know, a right-wing influencer type?
Has to be, right?
I'm probably going to take a live stream and take
However, once truly confronted, this came out. I'm rich. This is protests and riots will end soon. When they do, each of these folks will be subject to arrest and lawsuits. It's mob mentality after the mob is over. I'm rich, no holds bar, and very well connected. Insane, sick fuck you sheep who clearly can't think for themselves. Wow.
Wow, so he admits to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, that stuff is all, like, I think the feds have all the live streams, like, giving something, like, giving the feds, like, a video of something that was streamed publicly, you know, is not, I mean, I guess it's doxing, right? But, like, the shit's posted there. The feds can watch it. Like, we know the feds are watching those streams anyway.
Holy shit, boys. I know all about this clown and his partner, John Riches. I can Skype in audio. Oh, if you're on Skype, we could patch you in.
Yeah.
If you want to come up on the stream. Let's see.
You want to DM him or something?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and DM you a link, bro. Let's see.
OJ is a globalist.
But I don't think I can patch him in right now, though. Actually, you know what? I can use that interview mode.
Who's Peter North?
He's a porn star, man.
Oh, I thought it was like, some like globalist, like, some bad guy. What's this thing that that Brace is tweeting about? That TrueAnon's tweeting about? World Economic Forum. Governments, donors, and aid agencies. Whoa. Bill Clinton's 10 Build Back Better propositions. Holy shit. Should take a look at this.
Pull up a complication. Shooting ropes. What did you send me? TrueAnon pod. Alright, let's go to this. Bill Clinton 10 Build Back Better propositions. What is this about?
It's from the World Economic Forum, like literally the globalist cabal, like the global like billionaires and like their minions meet. Build Back Better, an action plan for the media, entertainment, and culture industry. Like, I feel like this is the boogeyman that the right wing needs to put in their crosshairs instead of like some weird nebulous like university professors and like Democratic politicians. Like they think that people who are the bad guys are like, yeah, they're shitty, but like they're not the big bad. Like these guys are this is the problem. Like it's not, the socialist like college professor.
See, the black guy
really
Philip
not your
Anderson
problem.
got his teeth knocked out and then was kicked out of the Proud Boys. Oh, so was that the black?
I thought he was a Hispanic dude.
Was he?
The current guy, right?
The
guy
current-
who was on with Tim Pool a few weeks ago.
Vosh?
No, he was on like the week before Vosh. That's why like Tim Pool was like, oh, I got to do something for the left now. I got to have a lefty on.
Oh yeah, because he's a classical liberal, right?
I think he believes this shit, dude. I think he got lost in the sauce.
Was that Tim Pool?
I think Tim Pool's like was what he said he was in the beginning, like a disaffected liberal, and then he just like slowly got his mind warped.
So you don't think he's a because so Dave
He
Rubin,
knows
for
exactly
example,
what they want to hear.
Right.
He gives them exactly what they want.
Right, but I'm saying if you look at somebody like a Dave Rubin, right? I mean, he's clearly pure
He's
grift.
so obvious, though. I don't know how he fools anybody.
Yeah. So I mean, he's all grift, but you're talking about some like I think Ben Shapiro by and large buys into what he speaks. He doesn't say stuff that he doesn't actually have some kind of belief system in. Tim Pool, I mean, do you think he falls more in that Shapiro camp, or is he more in that Dave Rubin camp, who's just?
No, I think he's what I said. I think he's his own thing, and I think he, like I said, I think a lot of these guys would probably be like down for like the basic, like Bernie style social democratic reforms, like that people are shooting for, right? Like it's just that I don't know if they are just locked into the tribalism, or they just never like had it explained that wasn't like in a like psychotic fear mongering way.
Let's see if I can patch PJ in right here, because we had like a whole green screen deal.
What did he do to get his teeth knocked out?
Wait, did he get his teeth knocked down by Proud Boys or what?
Yeah, was it friendly fire? What's his name? Look him up.
See, you might have to move over to our interview mode. So, let me see. Let's see if we go to the show. So it says Proud Boys stabbed 3 people tonight. DC protect and escorted them around while chanting "Whose streets are streets?" While a few weeks ago, my friends and I were shot at and tear gassed for protesting the murder of a child.
Yeah. I think it's you're full of shit if you don't like recognize that they get markedly different treatment than
Did
BLM.
Kanye win? Damn. You know what? We'll say this though. He did better than Howie Hawkins.
In some states.
In some states, he did better than Howie Hawkins. Did you beat him in Kentucky, right? That was where he beat him.
Yeah, I saw him. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
go
was close,
Kanye.
but-
Don't ever tell anybody you can't do what you set out your mind to do.
I think. Can we watch that video of the dude getting hit?
What, the Philip Anderson dude?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see if I got that.
I don't know if we're allowed to show it.
Well,
Remember, they
we've
took down
already
our
showed
shit before.
Yeah, they've taken down our shit because we, Antifa punched them. Okay, let's see this. Philip Anderson. Conservative punched in face by counter protesters. Is this the one that you're talking about? Let me see if. And let's see, Antifa. Maybe that will pop up. Yeah. Let's see. Not sure if this is one. I don't think so. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. Viewer discretion is advised, people.
That wasn't that good.
Keep going.
Oh.
Keep going. Back up, nigga. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
I mean, it does like look kind of a cheap shot, man.
Yeah, I mean it did look like kind of a cheap shot. Not gonna lie.
It also didn't look like that much. Like,
Yeah, it didn't look as bad as some of the other shit.
got him right in the teeth.
I mean, I like the punch today. Like that shit was nasty.
Yeah, that was a nice. Like, I mean, even that wasn't that good of a hit, man. Like,
No,
very
I mean,
few of these punches are just like clean, you know.
Yeah,
Like,
I
that
mean,
was like
it's-
a head
and you know,
side of the head
to what you're
shot.
saying, bro, it's not like they ever like toe up and fight. You know,
I
it's
mean, it
never.
looked like they were getting some good scraps in for a
Yeah.
little bit.
Let's see.
Now one shot.
Oh, you okay? You want a replay of that one? Okay, let's go. Let's go back to it. Give me a second.
Well, I put the one where they're like rumbling, like
Which one?
Like Outsiders, where it's like they're fighting in the middle of the street.
Oh, that
where they're, like erupts.
The rumble.
Yeah, I want
Alright,
to see if we can
let's
see.
go back to the rumble really fast, everybody. So I know a lot of people ended up joining up late on the stream. So let's see, where is this thing?
Trying to get my lights right in the thing.
Where is this rumble? I thought I put this thing. Did you send it to me? Didn't you?
Earlier, I did.
Here we go. Yeah.
Trying to scare. Who the fuck y'all trying to scare, huh?
Can you slow this down? What happened? So.
And why does it keep
yeah,
pausing?
Yeah, it looks like the looks like where the addresses here, right?
This ain't your fucking community! Get the fuck out of here!
I don't know what happened beforehand, but it looked like they chased him down the street, throwing shit at him, and then squared up, right? Like, I don't know, it looked like a pretty fair fight. That's whatever was going on there.
What was the other thing that we had said? The dude got laid out. That I at least liked it. All right, let's see. We got PJ coming in through here. PJ, hold up. Let me patch you in on this thing.
Dude, look at this technology, dude.
Give me a second.
pretty seamless. I mean, if you get it done.
Sign to guest. There we go.
Yo.
What's going on, guys?
Hey, PJ.
What's up?
What's going on?
Look at your setup.
Pretty good.
Yeah. You see that? You see that? You see that seamless technology right there? Boom.
And Matt, this is courtesy of Slaving Away at Guitar Center, which is going bankrupt, by the way.
Guitar Center is going bankrupt?
Guitar Center, it is a pre-packaged Chapter 11. Now, Chapter 9 and Chapter 11, they're not normally bad. Chapter 7 is the bad one. That's the one you don't want. That's immediately the court says, start siphoning and chopping this bad boy up and sending it out, right? 9 and 11, they give you time. The courts, they basically tell the those that own the debt, hey, back off, work out a schedule, work out payment. That's where a lot of like the distressed debt transfers happen, where the creditor company pretty much like takes on ownership, and that is what happened with Guitar Center 10 years ago when they went from Bain to Aries, which is the current management company. And of course, like all of them companies do, as soon as they buy it, they saddle the new firm, they saddle the entity with the debt. You know, oh yeah, we bought you for $1 billion. Now you got to pay us back.
Private equity business model.
Basically, you know? That's what it was. So, but the thing was,
buy your favorite
looking
stores
at
and run them into the ground.
Kind of like the mafia.
That's what happened with. That's exactly what happened with Guitar Center. I've been in and out of music retail for cumulatively like 10 years. Okay?
Right.
Between Sam Ash and Guitar Center. Ever since I was a kid, one of my first jobs was at Sam Ash, King of Prussia. You know, I was one of the first customers. You know, like so I've seen it just completely go downhill. Like you could, in the 90s, like you could make a shit ton of money selling guitars.
Damn.
But then once the 2000s and the internet came in, and these companies didn't, especially these brick and mortars, they did not evolve with it. And then what do? They chop, just like Radio Shack, start chopping back on the staff. You know, because the only thing that's bringing people in that building is your staff. It's
right.
People that know shit. So the point is, courtesy of Guitar Center on the free discount until July when I got laid off. So.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Don't they have commission though? Is that how it works?
It's commission, yes, but it's I'll say okay. We'll start with Guitar Centers. It's commission, yes, but it is some bullshit. In all honesty, because it's a sales per. Yeah, it's a sales per hour average, right? So you know, you sell, say, $40,000 worth of shit in a month, you know, but you know, but it took you 160 hours to do it, so that puts you at 250 sales per hour, and that's 1%. So you'll give you $400 at the end of the month, on $40,000. Yeah,
that's man.
And it was actually supposed to be only $200 an hour, but then they for 1%, but then they moved it up, so it's $250 for 1%. And something that I'm very pissed about, in all honesty, along with being furloughed and let go, was during the course with COVID, the store where I was at here in Florida, and all the stores practically, like 98% of them, they all closed for that month of April, right? Everything was shut down in April this year. So we get back in May. Now I got paid unemployment, all that shit. They were like, oh, the CEOs are giving up, some of their money to pay you guys for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
it's
right.
Like, yeah, okay, they're giving us they're just giving us one paycheck, And keep that in mind. Pin that. They gave us a paycheck on hours, because it's $9 an hour plus this sales commission scheme thing, right? So, just keep that in mind. They gave us two full-time weeks at $9 an hour. So, the way it worked, what was working was I got my shift was about an hour and a half before the store opened. Now, what was that? What was I saying? Sales per hour, right? Your sales per hour average.
Got you.
So I'm on the books when the store is closed and I can't sell and protect and increase and defend averages or this, that, and the third. So I'm giving so much money back, and this is happening across the chain with other folks too. They usually, we reserve these roles for management, and it's like, but you had managers quit. I had managers quit, just straight up quit, just throw the keys in the fucking safe and walk out. It's Guitar Center is horrid. It is horrid. Like, and it's going to suck, if it does go down, because they're not for nothing. There is something that's like, there's a place that musicians can go at least get a day job. You know what I mean? And for the most part, you can't really full time it so hard. Like, you use it for networks. You know what I mean? You use it to just try and get linked in with, because it's musicians coming to your fucking store. You know what I mean? Like, I need a drummer. Oh shit, a drummer just walked in. Man, you want to jam? Like,
so you can just hang out there at the store all day until you figure out you can put together a band.
I've started some of my best bands in these fucking stores, man.
Yeah, man, a lot of bands started at Guitar Center.
Like, I'm gonna just post up in front of the store and be like, need drummer.
Did Sam Ash already went under, right?
No, Sam Ash is still there. Like, they have like just such a diehard familial cult following.
Yeah.
They also too, like, they still like, they're small. I mean, they're not anywhere like GC. They're only maybe about 50 stores. When the last time I was with them, it was close to 80. But they are skeleton crewing as well. I mean, it's not skeleton crew; it's a fucking bone marrow crew. Let's be real.
Yeah.
But I will say this with the commission, right? They are old school sales. Okay, here's your bone for the week. Here's $400 for the week. Go earn that $400 back now.
Yeah.
That's how they do it, and they do it. And the other interesting thing too is they do it on their profit lines. Guitar Center did it on sales, not profit.
Ooh.
So there's possibility that they could, I was thinking about it with like an employee one time, like a coworker. It was basically like, okay, say like there's a price lock pedal, and it's $85 bone, right? They're selling it for $100. I have to sell it for $86 because there's something wrong with it. But say my tier puts it up where it's like, oh shit, we owe them 2%. They're going to be giving me money on the total sale that's below the cost of what they spent on said pedal. You know what I mean? Like, it's weird how they run their numbers and how it's straight up, it's not weird. It's a pump and dump. I mean, it's to make it look like, revenue, sales, revenue, sales,
that makes sense.
Sales. And then it's to pump it up, and then you dump the motherfucker for 10x. But you're not dumping a dying brick and mortar, with a bad reputation because of just demoralizing the staff and the customer base.
And that's the kind of thing. Like, that's why the left is angry about the way Trump handled the pandemic. In case anybody in the chat was still wondering, shit like that. Like, all of our stores are going under because there was no government support.
And I wonder if I could get a mic cover for this thing on the cheap now that you're bringing.
Yeah, you can. What's going to happen is, I don't know if anyone on the YouTube side of the show right now, if anyone's got them in the suggested, guys like Rob Scanlon, I think it is, and Jared Dines and Davey 504 and all your favorite YouTube musicians, they're going to become the brand ambassadors. That's going to probably become the showroom.
I think they're going to get screwed though.
Well, it's going to be a hard. I mean, if Davey's on there doing his own solo, but Fender's like, hey Davey, here's a couple fucking ultras and elite jazz basses, test them out for us, sell these for us,
That's what they do with kids' toys.
But it's going to be so hard because no matter what, this market wants to touch it. They want to go somewhere and play it before they buy it, and unless Sweetwater decides to move in and take these old stores up, I don't know.
I wouldn't buy shit off the internet unless I'd already played it before.
Electronics. People will buy electronics sight unseen. They'll buy a Nord lead. Go buy a
Keyboards,
Nordly, just send to my house. You know what I mean? But a Fender Strat.
Yeah,
you
no, I gotta play that shit.
You know, it's. Well, what do you got? What do you got in the back there?
Old Mustang.
Okay.
I got the bass upstairs. I got the new bass last year.
Okay.
So, sorry to interrupt, but yeah, like that Joseph Camp dude. Now he's posting up all of Steve Cox's Congress shit. So see if I bring us over.
So, this Camp guy, right, is connected to a gentleman named Jonathan Lee Riches, who's down here in my neck of the woods in Florida, and I don't know what the connection is. Like they're posted up on with each other on social media and so forth. And now looking at because I never really looked into Joseph A. Camp, and I didn't realize this motherfucker's verified, right?
That's true. He has a fucking verified account.
And he just obviously engages in the same type of behavior that John Riches does. Now, if you want to Google, go ahead, Jonathan Lee Riches. John Riches has the several notorious distinctions of being known as the most litigious litigant in the United States, where he, from federal prison on a 10-year wire charge fraud.
Is that Jonathan Lee Riches?
Yeah. Where he, while in prison, in federal prison, actually at a federal, and I don't say it's disparagingly, but he was at a mental health institute, federal mental health prison institution in Kentucky.
So the former federal prisoner known for the many lawsuits he's filed in various district courts, Riches was incarcerated in a medical center in Lexington, Kentucky for wire fraud. Under the terms of a plea bargain, his release date was 2012. He was arrested for violating the his federal probation in December 2012. He left the Eastern District of the state of Pennsylvania without permission. He allegedly drove to Connecticut and impersonated the uncle of Adam Lanza, the shooter in the Sandy Hook Elementary incident.
What?
Yeah.
So
he
my
was like
man's
a
got
Sandy Hook truther?
No, he's a troll. Like it's very nihilistic, you know, because when the people have interviewed him, you know, especially when he was behind bars and so forth and so on about his activities, like he is barred from filing lawsuits anywhere in the United States. Like he can't file suit, you know.
Wow.
They basically like he's a vexatious litigant. And in a surprising move, the courts agree because it's a kind of a First Amendment. Like, wow, he can't sue anybody. But they gave reasons for it because if you look through the wiki, you just see like just a ridiculous amount of what the suits were like. Who's like George Bush? He tried to sue Benazir Bhutto.
Let's see.
I mean,
Yeah,
who here hasn't sued George Bush?
Right.
We wouldn't have grounds to sue George Bush. So, lawsuits in federal court across the country, some of which have received considerable press
sued
attention.
Mike Vick?
Said more famous defendants of the lawsuits were Bill Belichick, George Bush, Janet Reno, Martha Stewart, Jeff Gordon, Mike Vick, entrepreneur Steve Jobs, Perez Hilton, Somali pirates, Britney Spears. Wow.
It sounds like a telethon, doesn't it?
Yeah,
like all the guests that he has coming out.
So it says Riches filed a request for temporary restraining order in a district court against Grand Theft Auto publisher Take-Two.
Saying that video games made him do this.
So it says Riches attempted to intervene as a plaintiff in the Madoff investment scandal, claiming that he met Bernard Madoff on eHarmony.com and taught Madoff identity theft skills. Okay. So this is the dude this Camp guy is tied to, right?
Right, and I think there is a connection with a media company and Matt, here's where our little kind of like Philly thing plays in, but I think there's a connection with these two at a media company in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania, right by the mall, because one of the jobs that the Riches lists on his Facebook page is this digital media type company or whatever that's got a suite over in it's the one business park off of like Allendale Road up there or some shit.
Yeah, think I know what you're talking
but
about.
the thing, so the thing being with it is this, you see Jesse's, with doxing, to give more, I guess, context, like in terms of perhaps it's a guilt by association. I can admit to it, but Riches has been
Jacob,
down here in Florida.
in the chat,
And
I agree with everything you're saying. Sorry.
Cool. But
about the drugs, I didn't
thing-
see your immigration take. Never mind. Yeah, I mean, sure, I guess I agree with that.
Right.
I'm not
But
for
the,
open borders, but
what Riches has been doing is what I've seen here in Florida is he doxes, he terrorizes, he does the
so he's like a professional
usual-
troll. Like, I feel like
right, and he's all on that Trump train. It's I mean, and
yeah, he probably
what's
gets
even
paid to
in-
do that shit, right?
probably like he wrote a book about, but I don't know how he can profit from said book because it was about, I believe, his shit, and it's like you can't profit from something involving.
He said he also tried to in the chat. He also tried to sue me. Well, look, this is that. I mean, just to go back to this thing really fast. Some of Rich's defendants are not even persons subject to suit. Those include Adolf Hitler's National Socialist Party, the 13 Tribes of Israel. One suit in which George W. Bush was a named defendant also includes another 783 defendants that cover 57 pages, including Plato, Nostradamus, Che Guevara, Jimmy Hoffa, various Buddhist monks, all survivors of the Holocaust, the Lincoln Memorial, the Eiffel Tower, the USS Cole, the book Mein Kampf, the Garden of Eden, the Roman Empire, the Appalachian Trail, Plymouth Rock, the Holy Grail, Nordic gods, the dwarf planet Pluto, and the entire 3 Mile Island. Wow.
The dwarf planet Pluto. Like, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
he
insane.
would-
I bet you that's worth a lot of money. People who do shit like that.
Yeah, well, he was indicted in 2018 by a federal grand jury in Arizona who's charged with making false statements and other frauds in an attempt to file a lawsuit against Gabrielle Giffords while posing as Jared Lee Longner. Yeah, a collection of Rich's
guy that
lawsuits.
shot her.
Yeah, this is a collection of Rich's lawsuits was published on April Fool's Day 2016. That's great. Let's see, just to jump back over here to what's going on with Steve
But
Cox
the-
now.
So the thing. Oh, go ahead. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
he went into his Amazon account now. It looks like.
What?
That's what it looks like. And yeah, he's putting up his Facebook. Kind of pervy photography, I guess. He's posting up all his emails now too. Wow.
Pot? What? What was this criminal record?
Says where it is long criminal conduct, pot calling the kettle black. Doesn't say exactly
What's
what
the
this
charge?
Doesn't say what the
That's-
charges were.
Yeah, that's probably. That's probably nothing then.
Yeah, civil case. Man, he's really going about this
See,
shit.
this is what's interesting is using the word public figure, and so forth. Like that's why I really do feel like John was definitely.
I mean, he
John
ran
had
for
this in
office.
DC.
Yeah,
John
I mean,
had it in
he's
DC
using
as
that to
well.
be able to go ahead and target Steve now.
Because this is something that Riches does down here in Florida, and it's also something infuriating about him and our local news media, and I'll get to that. So they're like, he'll go out and he'll see activists and he'll just straight dox people, straight dox them, like right there on Facebook, addresses, and especially here in Florida because of the voter registration, the sunshine laws that they have and shit. You can get anyone's information. Everyone's information is fucking
Right.
public down here.
Yeah.
So
Has anybody been targeted from him though?
I mean, other
They-
than
yeah,
other than Steve.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, down here, the activists have had people come to their house and shit.
Well,
I mean, that's actually the hope of. That's actually the hope of my channel. Is I'm going to be talking with a lot of local reporters, especially from folks from Creative Loafing and WMNF, which are two outlets down here. They're decent because the rest of it is just a lot of baby Fox News, in all honesty, and it's bad, especially because in the case of John Lee Riches, there was a situation where a guy pulled a gun out. His name is Larry Davis from St. Petersburg. Just straight. First off, he went punching through a crowd, and then pulled a pistol out and pointed at people. The state's attorney's office down here has been dragging their fucking feet over it. But Riches used that to be like, oh, now there's all this violence in St. Petersburg, blah, 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 and then got more outside agitator types, more of these Instagram truck ranter types, right? Video from the driver's seat to come and do like a clown-ass display. This one guy, Gary Snow, where it was like, ripping up the Antifa flag, and then ripping up the Nazi flag, and like, oh, we hate them both. See, we're not supremacists, we're not racist, blah, blah, blah. And the fucking media down here goes right to them, ignores the demonstrators that have been in St. Petersburg and peacefully demonstrated. No property damage, no nothing, for over 140 some days since all of this started. And they even had Riches on the local ABC station down here, the ABC affiliate, and gave him an interview.
Wow.
Didn't even speak with any of the local march leaders or any of those. One of the newspapers you guys probably saw a tweet from like diners, apparently diners being harassed by BLM and Antifa in St. Petersburg, Florida and shit. With this reporter, this kid Josh Fialo from the Tampa Bay Times, puts out a 45-second video that showed this one tense exchange between diners and two demonstrators, two protesters. Ann Coulter picks it up, Michelle Malkin picks it up, Breitbart picks it up, all of these other outlets pick it up, because the media down here just put it out there.
So they have been doing that shit.
No, it's fun. Like I said, that is like I hope to do, because I started a new job because the freelance thing wasn't working too well, and more or less, once I get my schedule set, I have friends that are independent journalists that write and get picked up in publications down here, and I want to kind of basically do like I'll cop to it. It's like what Sam Cedar does with Ring of Fire, where he brings them on and talks about an article for like 15-20 minutes. Like, we're going to do book reports on these folks' articles, because these stories, like my one Justin G just put a story out in Creative Loafing about a woman that got evicted. She got COVID. She's in her 50s, got COVID, recovered, got evicted, been fucked up because not getting any help with the financial situation, obviously, and her needs, and is like living in I think it's a 3-bedroom apartment where 11 other people are living at right now. They've just been rolling with the fucking evictions down here and getting the paperwork and just punching them in the court.
That's insane.
Holy shit.
But
so over here,
getting back with these guys, like they've been terrorizing people. They've been just straight up terrorizing people.
Yeah, well, now it looks like he posted up Steve's vehicle and his VIN number, which apparently isn't public info unless you steal it somehow. So,
is it or not? I'm sure he's publishing it because he got it from some public record. I don't know what the ethics of that. We probably shouldn't have shown it, right?
Yeah, I tried. It's up there, but yeah, I tried to win it. Go ahead and
there's going to be a bunch of caps and caps and caps. And
I'll bet you Twitter takes it down.
Here
I just find it. It's also interesting because again, the language. Because this guy Steve Cox, I assume it's someone that was involved.
He ran
in
for
something in
office.
DC
Yeah, he ran for office in California. We've interviewed him on here before.
Yeah, we had him on the show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, yeah, because I guess the court stuff Steve is saying is made up. He's just going ahead and trying to put shit out there now. Yeah, it says my bet is he actually made up that case number because I've literally never been arrested or charged for anything. So
yeah.
Well, the other thing, one of the tactics these guys will do too is, especially here in Florida, if you have any transaction with the police department, it's on file.
Right.
Any transaction. So even if you're arrested and nothing comes of it, it's still, your mug is up there, your file is up there, and it's going to have whatever address that you had at that time. In fact, a friend of mine was arrested because Riches and a bunch of these clowns went to demonstrate Ilhan Omar giving a speech at a care event at the Hilton, I believe, in Tampa, and 6 comrades went out there up against about 40 chuds, right?
Whoa.
And they waved their flags literally in the comrades' faces. And one of them just had enough and just snatched it out of someone's hand. Well, that's technically battery, or I believe, or something like that. So they were arrested. But it was funny because we didn't make the connection that it was John until recently. Because then when we look back, we were like, and found out through articles, like when we were diving the guy a bit, he was bragging about it in the press. He was like, "Oh yeah, I got somebody arrested at an Ilhan Omar event," and so forth and so on. Yeah.
So you think they're being paid to do this, though?
It's not. Well, here in Florida, I wouldn't be surprised if like the Roger Stone types are tossing him cash, right? I mean, for one, we know he stays with family. Okay. But he also can be eliciting donations. You know, here's the Venmo, here's the PayPal. And it's not hard to get in on the grift. It's not hard to go out there and horribly film protest events in portrait mode with 240 fucking, resolution. And sit there and say that you're, and all these boomers on Facebook being like, oh, he's this young man's a hero. This young man's a patriot. He's out there fighting to go fight for me, so I can sit behind my laptop, my screen, my keyboard, and have my way of fighting Antifa. Like it's it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it's funny. Like I wonder how tied those two are. I mean, on the Facebook it says a relationship, but again, it could be a troll.
Yeah.
But these two have been photoed together. They've been seen together.
So
at events and.
Yeah. And,
wow.
I mean, he's posting all the names of his family up now too.
Yeah, he's gonna probably lose a check mark, bro. I mean,
he has a check
you know what?
mark?
I mean, you say he's a verified account.
But here's, you know what though? Here could be a calculation. They could be trying to. There's been clamors that like the like those on the right are getting really tired of these what do you call it? They're getting really tired. They're getting tired of the social media platforms and needing the excuse to jump over to Parler. So why not this? I'm like, oh, I tried to spread the truth, and they censored me. Oh, Parler,
Yeah. And then they want to call foul too when they do get banned or suspended, or they lose their checks, and they're gonna want to say that they're censoring the right wing, but then that's the kind of shit that they're using their platforms and verified accounts to do.
So he's just like, trying to own Steve. It's like,
well, then that guy is, yeah. But yeah, I mean, he was also, to what you're saying, he's one of the dudes that's out there right now in DC. So shit.
Yeah, what do you guys think about what happened up there today?
Well, I mean, it was kind of predictable at some point or another. They're gonna lash out that way. Everybody was kind of saw that part of it coming. What I said was as soon as the reality of them losing, of Trump getting defeated, set in, that was exactly the response you're gonna get. And honestly, it hasn't gotten as violent as I thought it was gonna get. But even though that there has been 3 people stabbed out there apparently.
This guy in the chat really loves fucking downers, man. You see that? What do you?
Matt, are you expecting more of this shit to pop off, or is this? I mean, how long do you expect them to go ahead and?
I said it earlier. Like, I don't want to be a doomer, and I don't want to be pessimistic, but in a way, yeah.
Everyone makes fun of you if you say it's going to get intense. I feel like that's.
It's not right away. It's not an atom bomb. It's not a spark.
battles. There's not going to be like
No,
like
it's
army
these
encampments and shit. But like people
it's
are
these
going
slow
to be
simmers. It's
doing
gonna be
shit.
these this slow
They're
simmer
so
of this stuff
psychotic
because
though. Like Joe
because
Biden.
also because also realize this too, like there's this thing of like it, because realize like we'll just use the Proud Boys, right? If we need to take a group,
Yeah.
like they have to test the waters against the cops themselves. Now we know what the history has been because we've seen with Portland, now we've seen with DC, apparently, right? But there still has to be a testing of the waters for against the system for them, as well as in in society if they're going to give a shit about optics, and then of course against their opponents. Like shit, does all of a sudden the not fucking around coalition show up tomorrow morning? And what happens then, right?
Yeah.
So all these, it's going to be but it's slowly like it's testing the water. It just slowly.
I just think
push it a little bit, then it comes back. Push it a little more, then it comes back a bit. Push it a little bit,
Right.
and eventually it's again that simmer effect because it's never going to get ratcheted completely backwards.
Yeah,
because
that's the thing.
Biden
Yeah.
isn't that skilled. Biden isn't that. I don't think Biden's going to be enough of a skill of that communicator to talk to some of these really pissed off, alienated 30 to 40-year-old dudes that are piped for violence. They are itching, unfortunately.
Like I keep saying, man, they have to do something good. They have to like not be completely 100% shitty, and then maybe people will give them a little bit of respect. But like otherwise, they're going to just continue. Like there's not going to be any resolution there. Like I think in some ways like he might have a slightly better chance than Obama because people just didn't like Obama because he was black, right? Like that was not gonna. No cultural, like no matter how conservative Obama was, like he was not going to be able to like, do anything without getting, severe backlash. Like everything he did was going to be misconstrued and propagandized about and just, like straw man, and, like hit like the Reverend Wright, like this. Every single thing in his career was just painted as this like, oh, fucking wild communist Obama, like he's crazy. So on top of that, so he never had any kind of opportunity to do any kind of real progress, like as much as they tried, right? Biden might
Or
be a little
if that was
different,
even his game plan.
Right. So I got a question from the chat here.
Well, it seemed like it was. It seemed like he went out of his way to be like, to try to be very like mature, like I don't know what you would call it, like peacemaker. He tried to be very
okay. In that regard,
not
yes.
aggressive,
Okay.
like not pro, like he was never even like he didn't want to like make it seem like he was doing stuff for the black communities
or being
like,
or overly favoring the black community. But
Yeah,
here,
I think
here
he-
we got a question
like
from the
he-
chat.
like-
How organized
I get what
do
you're
you think
saying,
we're
man.
going
I'm
to get
sorry.
out
Yeah,
there on the right?
I was putting his messaging as well as what was the policy report
Yeah.
card together in the hindsight. But I get what you were saying of like, hey, look, I'm not here to beat up Republicans. Let's all do this together. It's
So I feel like
America,
Biden could be a little more. I feel like Biden might be able to be a little bit tougher, a little bit realer, and still get away with it because he's a.
Listen, Jack, it's the United States. Get it?
segregationist.
The United
Yeah.
States. All right, Jack. Me and Core Pop
I think they're
figured it
gonna
all
do
out.
shit though. Like, I mean, I heard there could be some shit where it's like the FBI turns their sights on these, like 3%ers and groups like that, and just kind of does like what they did to just like tries to stir shit up, right? Like tries to get like they did with like the Islamic terrorists, right? They would just try to like put 3 FBI guys in every group and have them try to like egg each other on and try to like, like there's
Right.
some indication
Right.
that the Whitmer kidnapping was like that, right? Like there was more than one informant in this group, right? There was like,
Right.
a few dozen people, and like at least two of them were feds.
So
like-
they're asking over here in the chat, guys. How organized do you think they're going to get with these demonstrations?
Well, just even organized in general, I the conditions determine it, right? I mean,
Right.
and also, well, first let's establish like they are kind of organized now.
Right.
You know,
That-
they are
that's one of the
above
things I'll say
ground
more about.
groups.
Yeah, and that's one
Yeah,
thing I'll
but
say
you
more
know-
about these right wing groups and these left wing groups is they're oftentimes a lot more organized than the people that come out against them.
Yeah, and in terms of if you're looking at like the hierarchical structure of how they organize and form up, it allows them to have this kind of the ability to get the resources going. You know, versus like say the left wing groups, which will be more decentralized. You know, and in a sense,
I mean,
in some
it's
cases
kind
more
of
democratically run.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, it's kind of by the nature of the ideology, it
Yeah,
lends itself
yeah.
more to organization when you're talking about right versus left. But
Do you think they'll
I mean,
keep doing
they're-
these, like, get-togethers, these pep rallies, or do you think, like, are they going to maintain any kind of?
In
Like, are we going to
DC,
be hearing about like stop the steal for the next 2 years? Right? Is that?
oh, dude, you're gonna hear about it forever. You're gonna hear about it
Yeah.
forever.
until Trump
like,
runs again.
No, you're gonna hear about this forever. This is going to be.
Is it going to be like Hillary
this
in
is part of the
Russia?
lore. This is part of the lore. This is part of the conservative ideology myths and the story that they tell. You know, yeah, Reagan was amazing.
The victims that they're.
You know, same
Like-
time, it's all going to be wrapped up into that, and the distorting of it, like in terms of like with Trump, with like saying earlier, like yeah, he just like kind of just like gumped his way into this, you know, like just with
Little bit.
fascism. He just stumbled into it because it's not an organized movement like Mussolini's, black
What do
shirts.
they want though? It's like,
Or even the Latin American style, South and Central American fascist, neo-fascist movements. You know what I mean? Like it's not organized like that at all.
yeah, but I'm trying to think like, so they would they like? I just don't understand like what they want to change. Like, what would they be so pissed off about? Like the damn liberals are out of control. It like that they. I mean, I guess they would just keep having this, like, they stole the election and just be a general all-purpose grievance, against,
it be, and every
you know.
election after that, even for dog catchers, gonna be like, can't trust it, they're Democrat in charge.
Let's go to another one of these.
You know what I mean? Like you're right here. I gotta get used to this camera's right here. I'm shaking my head at the screen. Oh, guys.
Let's see. Let's go to another one of these Proud Boy videos that's going out here. Proud Boy induction ceremony for a new member.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that ain't over. So you're going to repeat after me. I state your name. Josh Pruitt. I'm a Western chauvinist. I'm a Western chauvinist. And I refuse to apologize. For creating the modern world. For creating the modern world. I am a proud boy.
Did you?
I'm a proud boy.
They don't do the punching no more.
What?
But,
We got freaked out that we're gonna see more punching.
They apparently.
I'm hoping that ain't over. So you're going to.
Apparently it used to be.
What?
It used to jump them in. quote,
Yeah,
unquote,
that
jump,
they
like a
were.
little-
We just saw another one.
It's the little rabbit.
What a bunch of pussies.
I thought they were gonna. Yeah, I thought they were about to punch him in and talk about cereal again.
Yeah, what a bunch of pussies, man. That's not, like, what kind of street gang doesn't even have, like, a blood in, blood out, Like, it's lame.
But again, it's also that have you heard that thing in there, like creating the modern world? It's like, bro, I'm pretty sure the railroads were already in place before a lot of us were gleams in granddad's eyes. Like, I'm pretty sure this was here, and then you and I and us, we were born. Like, what did you create,
The status
dude?
quo, the hierarchy, man. They see
Right.
themselves as the
Yeah.
fucking top of the food chain, right? Like, that's what they're
Exactly.
protecting. They're not, like,
Oh,
like I said, like, I feel like they would be down if, like, for a lot of the, like, the basic reforms that people are asking for, right? They just don't understand.
let's
Who's
see.
this guy?
Yeah. All right, let's go to this one.
I mean, this is funny, but it's funny. But but it's also like folks that are sealing themselves away.
Yeah.
You know, like I mean, maybe that is the copium of just of the blanket of just fuck Fox. It's just OAN now. It's just Parler now, and it's just the Proud Boys now.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like it's that this compartmentalization, because no matter what, like even because we know even with Biden, like hopefully there's a teeny tiny bit of something good that comes out of it, and not just gridlocked mess and more resentment.
I think he might like get like, you know, lowered prescription drug prices or something. I feel like that's something he might get.
The bigger thing is
the minimum wage.
I mean, well, it's happening on state levels. I mean, I think that genie's going to roll in the next couple of cycles, definitely, even if just on the state level, if not federally.
But is this true that Frisco banned pro-Trump rallies? I don't think
No
they can.
way,
I don't,
really?
No, you can't really do that. I mean, come on.
Maybe
Yeah,
really
that's
shitty
prior
with a permit.
restraint. I mean, you could
but
ban
the,
Proud Boys rallies.
Yeah, probably, but
now you could probably. Yeah, but the point I was making with the folks, I'm actually kind of borrowing a kind of good bit from Matt Christman to Chapo here, but like he says, it's just basically things aren't going to get better, and they need more excuses, they need more reasonings, they need and now like I do when you see that, you know, Fox News sucks, fuck Charlie Kirk, and it's not that I have sympathy for those entities or people or person, but
I feel like we could
that's
train their
sealing away,
ire.
and they're going off into these really sealed bubbles where radicalization it's going. That could be an acceleration point.
Well, you know the Kyle Kalinske, he made a point about this though, where what he was saying, if whereas where on the left you see that there's a it's not a thing where if the further left you move, the more sycophantic you become about party leaders. But on the right, you kind of see that the opposite effect, where if you're going to go to a more right-wing place where you're going from OAN, from Fox, it just becomes more sycophantic towards Trump. You know,
but there's no like project beyond Trump.
I guess the point is that it's not ideological. It's so much as it is.
But and Matt was saying it. Yeah, Matt was saying it right there. There's no organized project. You know what I mean? This isn't like this organized political movement.
What are they trying to do?
Yeah.
Like, what are they trying to
none of it is centered around policy demands. Is to be more right wing on terms of policy. It's all about lay before Trump more.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, what are they
culture.
asking him to
And
do?
culture. Right, and this copium
I know,
stuff that
but-
you're seeing now with this Fox stuff, I mean, I'd say it has to do with them calling the race just like everybody else did. You
It's
know what I
like
mean?
not even like he's like protecting them or something. Like it's just hard to see like what like it's like I could see liking him like you know like as the president, like you know you like when he owns the libs on TV and stuff, but like I can't see like following him as some sort of like cult leader.
Right.
You know, like some sort of thing where like even when he's out of power, it's like you are making that like a huge part of your social like your social and professional life and all is being into Trump. Like what you know what I mean? Like
let's see, check this out, guys.
It's hard to see them
This
like
is, Steve
getting
Cox.
further radicalized like that. Like
Steve Cox posting up if he looks like Moby if Moby was a tiny dick degenerate. Like to install potty cams in toilets.
Yeah, that guy looks like a sicko.
Yeah, look at him. He does look like a Moby.
That's why I think that they could like you could make them see the light, you know, like I feel like you could train their ire on the ruling class at some point, you know. You could get them to just see the basic. They don't even need like a Marxist analysis. You don't even need to see that to say that we're being screwed, right?
No.
Like just be like, what do you think about like all these billionaires getting rich and you know, everybody else losing their jobs and their health care? You know, like it's the fact that the other possibility is such a dead end, like just being like a Trump fanboy, you know, like make that your like
whole
what you do on the weekends, like
your
go to
center
Trump
of your,
raises.
your center of your political ideology. Let's see,
Yeah, that's what I mean. Seeing how that is so empty, they're so like that doesn't sound like an attractive outcome. Like I could see them kind of figuring other shit out. Like maybe it'd just be more
Especially-
like QAnon psycho shit. I think that's probably what'll happen, right? We'll just get
To what you were saying, Matt, it's like, yeah, especially like if you try like to attach your, anchor yourself to like the Trump brand or try, like, first off, you only have relevance for technically 8 years max, right? That he would be allowed. And there's actually a rapper. There's a rapper in Florida that's like all about, like, as soon as Trump got in office, it was like, oh, found the marketing niche, and he latched himself onto it. And it's like, dude, again, it's only got relevance for 4 or 8 years.
Yeah,
And then that's
exactly.
it.
Let's go to another protester out here.
And even if he won a second term and went out all Bush style, W, you know what I mean? Everyone like said, fuck this guy by 2021 or something like that. You know what I mean? Before his next midterm, like, it's still
As many
like,
people showed up this week
into that
as they did last week, they would have never been able to do that. They would have never had the space and opportunity to do that. So I think that's the key factor right there. That when you have, when they have free reign to be able to form up and create that mass group of people, the city was packed last week. There was no way they would have been able to march through unopposed or not running into people dancing in the street, and it would have looked bad for them to come and attack people that were dancing in the street, that were coming in and coming together in unity. But this group, it was already starting to taper down. There was less numbers than there was earlier, so the timing, I think, was also really bad. So as it was later in the, later in the evening, you had less people out there, and Proud Boys waiting for that moment to go after a group of people. And if we were all together like we were last week, no way this would happen. No way.
Yeah.
I just want to say real fast, we're fucking the audience up because Tony's looking to the right, I'm looking to the left because of how we have our monitors set up.
Yeah, I ended up with the 2-monitor system. The 2-monitor thing made things so much easier to go ahead and stream, but still, I'm over here looking at my shit. And then,
dude, regardless, it's like, but regardless of what it is, the fact is that, like, you decide to have it on the right or the left, and we gotta guess.
Yeah.
I'm looking straight ahead, aren't I?
Yeah, well, you don't got the 2
Yeah,
monitors
you're
set
good,
up
brother.
yet, bro.
You're good. Yeah, you're perfect.
But I mean,
we're the ones with the nerd shit over here. Yeah.
So I mean, like, this is a point that I guess that was being made, is that since they knew that there was gonna be this giant MAGA rally, that the counter protesters shouldn't have been out there, that they should have stayed home. Whereas this protester out here is making the opposite case, that the point is there should have been more people, and the only reason that something like this went down the way it did is because most of the protesters that were celebrating last week had gone home. So, I mean, adding more people to a scenario, like, to a situation like this, I don't know if that's good necessarily.
Yeah. I think there was a mixed message too, because I do remember seeing that on Twitter of folks of like, hey, you know what, maybe we just let them have it, fuck them,
right?
But then again, I mean, people in that community in DC, they think, like, we don't want this shit here.
Of course, it's. I mean, you gotta. I mean, like Matt keeps saying, these people aren't from there. Not like they turned out from DC and decided to go.
Streets.
Yeah, and I mean, and to that point,
Just giving us thumbs down.
I don't know. Like, we got a bunch
Everybody
of
fucking liked the shit. They outweigh the chuds who gave us. We had 9 thumbs up and 8 thumbs down.
Yeah. Well, it won't be the first time we got ratio, bro. Don't even worry about it.
Who ratioed us? The Jimmy Dore fans.
Yeah. Well, I mean, actually, that was a good point to bring up. We did like a couple of like high profile videos or videos about high profile people. So we did Tommy Lauren, Jimmy Dore, Anna, Jank, Dave
Jimmy
Rubin,
Dore,
Temple.
That is a form of MAGA in and of itself.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think too. Like that's actually even something to be mindful of on the left, because it's just like, I mean, Jimmy actually helped me pull a couple of libertarians out of that bullshit when he interviewed Dr. Mark Blythe, and I shared those video series up. But then it's just like, holy shit, dude, where are you going? Where are you going?
I mean, look, because we've talked about this where, you know, Jimmy, he makes some good points and he mixes in a lot of bullshit with it. You know, so
Well,
there's a lot of stuff
People's
that makes
Party-
sense, and then he takes it off in an odd direction that kind of dilutes the
harebrained.
overall point.
Well, it's very reactionary.
Yeah.
It's very, because
Yeah, that's a
it's
good way
like
to say it.
Alexander AOC, cheese the shit, AOC, Justice Dems, let's fucking go, and then it's fuck them because they didn't come on my show.
Right.
You know, fuck Bernie because he didn't come on my show.
Yeah. And I think it would have been singing a different tune in the primary if Bernie had gone on his show.
Right.
Yeah,
I
and-
mean, he picked Tulsi, and it's like, okay, well, Tulsi ended up endorsing Biden. You know, so hey, man, you know, so it and there's the failure to kind of cop to this stuff. You know, kind of like, hey, I fucked up.
Right.
But it just seems so reactionary because now it's like, and then it was Green Party, and then now it's fuck Green Party. Here's the movement.
Here's
for a
the People's Party, right?
You know, and it just seems, and I mean, Emma Vigeland said this on MR, and they obviously have way more intimate knowledge of Jimmy from working with him, you know, and it was just, it just seems like it's Jimmy wants to run the world.
Yeah.
You know, it's just very much, it's just a raw ego right now, just playing out on YouTube.
Yeah. All right, guys. Do you want to?
well,
do you want to keep on?
We're fucking.
Do you want to stay on, bro? We're gonna be coming up on 3 hours now.
Yeah, man. What?
Oh, I was actually, I'm gonna hop off because it's 3:15 here in Florida.
Oh shit.
Yes, it's really.
I just like tweeted that we were still talking.
Oh, all right. Well, no, I tell you what. Can you give me like, is there a way to go in like the green room so I can go like get something to drink and then I could come back in? Or
Yeah, actually, I think I can do that. Give me a second.
Dear Jack, they're trying to get Trump.
Let's do this one.
Do you think
There
they're
we
gonna kick Trump off Twitter?
I can mute this side too, bro. So don't worry.
I got you. All right. Go. All right. So what do you think? Well, I mean, after what he had done today, I mean, it's questionable. I mean, at best, right?
What did he do today?
I mean, the stuff that he was putting out there. I mean, he's inciting the violence, and this is stuff that he got away with as president. That I don't know if he'll go ahead and get away with once he's done and out of office, right? So,
dude, when they booed him, Kamala's gonna take credit for it. Right?
What, did they boot him from Twitter? I mean, that was her whole shtick, right? So,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's gonna take credit for it.
Well, he has tweeted a lot of stuff that goes against terms of service, but it seems like those protections still extend to public figures. I mean, even as a former president, I still don't think he's going to be held to the same standard as you or I.
You don't think so? He's got no official capacity after that.
No,
though.
but everything that he says is news. It's kind of a fucked up situation. I mean, even as a former president, everything he says is going to be influential, so...
Yeah, I know, but it's influential in a bad way.
Of course. I mean, it's influential in a bad way now.
Yeah, but he's president now.
Yeah.
You know, like, when he's done, like, if it's just like what he did to Obama, you know, just like shat on every single thing he did, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if it's like that, I really don't think there's, I mean, I would be fine with, I mean, I wouldn't, like, you know, just like go through and like purge him, but like I would, if he broke TOS, I would fucking penalize him for it. I would treat him like everybody else.
Are you saying you're gonna miss him, bro, if he's off of Twitter?
No, I'll just follow him on Parler.
Well, I mean, let's see. Will it be funnier to keep Trump on Twitter? I mean, as far as it being funnier, I mean, I gotta agree. I mean, and for nothing else, I mean, his Mean Girl Twitter rants are a lot more entertaining when they don't have any kind of ramifications to them.
I know, but like, I don't know, man. He's really like toxic.
I mean,
know?
I don't know if anybody's really capable. Well, when you come to this doxing shit, like we were going through earlier, I mean, I would think that is there grounds for a suit in that sense?
What, with Steve?
Yeah, I mean, like with stuff like that. If you get doxxed by somebody, you get targeted by for some kind of substantive harassment like that. Even then, can you get sued for? You think there's a case that you could bring up like that?
I think you'd have to prove there was harm.
Yeah,
because it's not like
so you'd have to have
some
people
types of slander, like some types of shit like that, like revealing private information is the like would be the tort, but
right.
Some of them are if it's not a certain type of attack, like you would need to be able to he'd have to be able to prove that he was somehow suffering for it. It's not enough to just be like he did this thing, you know.
So it's not the act in itself isn't tortuous.
Yeah, I mean, Mandy, I agree with you. It is hard to see how he gets in trouble for anything. Like he is definitely not going to jail. Like get that out of your head.
Well,
like,
there was that video from Vice that
Twitter.
talked about it. There was that video from Vice about it. Did you catch that?
No, you want to watch it?
Yeah. We might as well. If, we've been doing the Proud Boy stuff online, but we can go ahead to something a little bit different. I had it saved here.
I mean, he might he would never go to jail. Like they might go to court against him, right? But
well, okay, so I'll say like this though. If there is something legal that Trump does get busted on, it's gonna be from the state. It's not gonna come from the federal level. It'll be something with the Southern District of New York or some lower level tax shit. Maybe something like that. It's not gonna be anything.
I mean, I could see them using the courts as a way to keep him in line, though.
Right.
You know, threaten him with charges or prosecutions or whatever if he refused to go along with what they were doing or whatever it was. He wouldn't shut up. I mean, it wouldn't be something like that, but it would be like a policy initiative or whatever. They'd be like, don't fucking shit on this policy or whatever, and we won't take you to court, something like that, maybe.
Yeah.
Small shit, but I feel like that could be what's going on with that. But
the thing I come back to is he was an unindicted co-conspirator in that Michael Cohen case, right?
Yeah.
So when it comes to from that angle, there is some kind of criminal grounds already in place, right?
He's not going to go down for that.
I mean, he could though, right? I mean, would you completely rule out the possibility that he did if you already sent one person to prison over it?
That was for the Stormy Daniels, right?
The hush money, right?
Yeah. No, I don't see him going down for that. I mean, I'm trying to think, has that ever happened before? Has anybody else ever gone down for an electoral crime like that?
I mean, was that the basis for the Watergate stuff? I wasn't quite sure about it. Or was it just the nature of the
Watergate was
the
breaking
DNC?
and entering.
Yeah, it was breaking and entering. But I mean, as far as what that's true. It's like this kind of just the default thought that you go back to another presidential.
And he didn't have. I don't think he had legal charges in that.
Are you good over there, PJ?
They did, but.
All right, let's see if we bring PJ back on. All right, boom.
I mean, I could see that though too. He basically goes to court for everything. There's no business deal he does unless he gets sued and made to perform, right? He never holds up his end of any contract. So I could see judges trying to own him that way, if he gets before a judge, the right kind of judge will fuck him up, throw the book at him. But
yeah, that also you'd have to have a judge with the balls to go ahead and push
what's
forward
the case in Southern District in New York?
I was gonna say we got to.
Is that the Michael Cohen?
Yeah,
that's actually I think involving
Deutsche
real
Bank?
estate and money laundering potentially.
Yeah, that kind of shit, right? Yeah.
It's more to do with his books. And where.
Well, there's the fraud thing he was doing, where he was inflating the property, inflating and deflating the properties of the value of his properties.
Put him under put him under house arrest. Oh
maybe,
yeah,
like,
for him.
informally.
Tower arrest.
Tower arrest. Yeah, for him, he gets to stay in a fucking golden penthouse.
He's probably gonna like move to Bermuda or something, like some tax haven.
Or Scotland, because if there is a country that he'll bail to, it'll probably be Scotland.
Yeah. Well,
Because
let's go to
that's where
that.
they're building the latest, and they got like pretty low corporate tax over there as well. So.
All right, let's go to the Vice video here.
Trump has never been shy about calling for his political enemies to be investigated, charged with crimes, and of course, locked up.
It's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Because you'd be in jail.
Secretary Clinton.
Oh. But the moment Trump steps down, he loses the special protection from federal criminal indictment that's reserved only for the president. And prosecutors are already sifting through the big pile of evidence that independent legal experts say ranges from questionable to damning. The thing is, if they decide it warrants an indictment, that's not just Trump's problem. It's future President Biden's problem too. He's staking his presidency on healing a divided nation. And if the 70 million people plus who voted for his opponent see their guy getting thrown in the clink, they might not take that well.
Lock them all up.
Yeah.
Biden says the decision will be made by an independent attorney general.
I will
They
not
will totally
interfere
pay. They
with
paid
the
for
Justice
Kyle
Department's
Rittenhouse's
judgment of
lawyer,
whether or not
man.
they think they should pursue the prosecution of anyone that they think has violated the law. But I also
Including a
am
former
not
president.
It depends on what happens.
But a decision not to prosecute in the name of national unity raises a different problem. It puts Trump and any former president above the law. That might encourage future presidents to lean into their worst instincts, break rules, commit crimes. Plenty of former prosecutors, including the vice president-elect, say that any fair-minded official would likely come to the same conclusion on Trump: prosecute.
I believe that they would have no choice and that they should, yes.
But the next attorney general would only have a say in what federal prosecutors do. State prosecutors get to make their own call, including the Manhattan District Attorney, Cy
he's an
Vance,
unindicted
who's already probing Trump's
co-conspirator.
financial affairs. His prosecutors have fought to the
They don't
Supreme
even have
Court to look at Trump's
It's like
tax
already
returns.
done.
They seem to be going deep into Trump's business history and potential campaign finance issues. Trump's former attorney and fixer, Michael Cohen, has said Trump directed him to make illegal hush money payments to
We
women
should
who
do
say they
one
slept
thing
with
cool.
Trump. Neither the White House nor Trump's company returned a request for comment. Cohen's also claimed that the Trump family business fiddled with the valuations of its assets for insurance and tax purposes. There are also civil cases. E. Jean Carroll, a
Eric.
former magazine columnist, is suing Trump for defamation for denying her allegation that he raped her. And 1,000 former prosecutors say that former special counsel Robert Mueller's final report presents enough evidence for a federal indictment against Trump for obstruction of justice. Remember, Mueller's team didn't reach a final decision about whether Trump broke the law because it's DOJ policy that a sitting president can't be indicted anyway. This raises speculation that Trump might try to pull a Richard Nixon and resign early, and then get a preemptive pardon from his future former Vice President Mike Pence.
Plausible.
But that wouldn't save Trump from the Manhattan prosecutor, who's investigating potential state crimes. Whatever happens, when you ask former prosecutors about this, they say if anyone is going to charge the President of the United States for the first time in our history, the case has got to be airtight.
Will have to be ironclad because otherwise we'll be playing right into the president's narrative
But if they
that
already
the
convicted
Democrats have sought to undermine
Michael
democracy,
Cohen.
not to support it. We're in a really difficult spot because if prosecutors decide to pursue a case against him, they run the risk of falling right into his narrative that this is a witch hunt, that this is people who are after him.
It is
who've
by
always been
definition a
after
witch
him.
hunt.
On the other hand, if we don't prosecute him, then we are running the risk of defying this very central principle that no man is above the law.
The
Trump is
presidents
still
are
the
obviously
loudest
above
voice in
the
his
law.
party, and he's likely to remain a potent political force for years to come. Even becoming a convicted felon would not, technically speaking, prevent him from running again in 2024.
Yeah, that's true.
And now that Florida has given convicted felons the right to vote again, he could even vote for himself.
Ooh.
Oh.
But
It was the perfect call, folks. It was the perfect
actually,
call.
it won't matter. It's not. He can't run for a state office.
Oh,
If
okay.
he is a felon. He can't. You still can run. They didn't clean that up with Amendment 4. Amendment 4 only did voting.
All right.
I still believe you have to go through a process to be able to run for office again, and also get your guns back. So yeah, I'd have to. But I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and then again, of course, Tallahassee fucked around with it and said, "Oh, you got to pay everything back."
Yeah, they did that whole like poll tax.
I wonder. Yeah,
Yeah.
he probably wouldn't be able to pay off his fines, right?
You know, they say they're using a bad spot financially, so.
I want to see what happens when he can't pay off that loan. Do you think?
Right.
What are they gonna do? They're not gonna like.
I mean, they don't put people. I mean, if it's unless it's what is that? Is that governmental? Because unless it is, you know, there's not a debtor's.
Take his house and shit.
I mean, yeah, but there's not a debtor's prison, so it's not like you can throw him in jail for that. But what were you meaning before you said that? By definition, it's a witch hunt.
Like, it's politically motivated, right? Like they're going after him, like because of who he is, right? You know,
I mean, you think so? It's not just about him actually having broken the law.
I mean, it depends on the case, but like I'm sure they all this. I don't think he does anything out of the ordinary. I think this is the kind of thing that all those rich assholes do. You know? So like,
where was the prosecutorial discretion when he was on The Apprentice?
Right.
You know what I mean? They waited till he got to be president
before they actually acted on.
Before the I guess the Capitol told the system, oh shit, we got to get rid of this quote unquote cancer, and it's like, well, you kind of fucked up because he got on the base. He's safe. You know, he's in the Oval Office. He's got this super shield on his ass now in terms of the law.
Well, I mean, in that sense, we're assuming that they weren't pursuing him beforehand, right?
I'm sorry,
so I mean, we're assuming that if that's the case, then we're assuming that there were none of these officers that were pursuing him. No,
like,
but I
saw
mean,
how Hillary and Bill thought of him. They thought he was a fucking clown.
Well, I'm sure they did, but
he was the guy from TV.
Yeah,
he was the guy from TV.
No, of course, but especially the state investigations and the Manhattan DAs have been looking into him for a little while before he was actually in office, though, right?
Well, remember, you also in New York, you had to deal with the IDC.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you had the IDC up in the state, and then probably fuckery within the New York machine in and of itself. And of course, like Fred Trump being in there, and then his kids are going to be in there.
Yeah.
I mean, remember, Trump was the guy, according to the Adam Curtis documentary, that in 1976 was able to score that fucking massive like tax break or tax credit to just go and completely change Manhattan Island and just start buying up the old buildings and making them these fucking condos and what have you. Like that's where I kind of see what Matt's saying of it. Like it's a witch hunt because it's now a matter of like, oh, now we're gonna go look for this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like they kind of fucked up because it's like you waited till he got to a point where like you can't go after him like if he was Donald on TV.
I mean, that's true, but I kind of veer against it just because it kind of how do you say it? It kind of suggests that the charges that they're going against him, there's no substance to them, and it's just sheer political motivation.
Well, no, I think both of them. I mean, like both those things can be true. Like, there's definitely legit charges, but like, there's legit charges on all of them, probably for much more serious and like pressing things that are ongoing. Like, we've defunded the securities police, right? There's no one's manning the shop in terms of like financial and like white collar crimes. Like, we don't investigate any of that shit. Like, didn't you see that report from a few weeks ago about like Deutsche Bank's involvement with just like every terrible thing going on around the world?
Yeah, I mean,
apparently like they're holding money for like the worst people in the world, and it's like all out in the open. There's just nobody. There's no accountability. There's no accountability anywhere in the system, right? For any kind of misdeed, right? Up and down the like the economy.
Right.
There's no guy in a corporate office like in fucking Breaking Bad, like at the German conglomerate, just like as soon as you know what is it, Locos Polios Hermanos or whatever, like the guy just goes and just freaking just electrocutes himself. You know, I fucked up and I fucked the company up.
I think that
no
there's
one's
like
doing that in the Hamptons or.
I think in so much as there is people doing that, it's
Mhm.
all situations like this where it's basically like economic or politically or somehow motivated jobs, like they're going after somebody specifically to take them down, like the Lava Jato shit in Brazil, right? Like the only time they investigate any of this kind of like corruption and fraud at this level is when it's political, when you're trying to take down your opponent and somehow use lawfare to your advantage. Like that's I mean, don't get me wrong, I would love to see them greatly increase funding to this narrow area of police.
So you wouldn't be calling it a witch hunt if it was the standard to go after people that were doing the crimes that he did.
I don't think it's I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't think it's derogatory to call it a witch hunt.
Mhm.
I don't think.
Well, I mean, I guess because of how he used it, it has a certain connotation. That's the only thing I would say.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think that.
Yeah, the messaging is definitely because I mean, just we were all grown with witch hunt. Ugh, it's always it's
and like
because of what it invokes of the Salem trials.
Well, that's true too. Like
that
no matter what happens, he's going to be able to successfully play it down with his base. Like, there's not going to be accountability. Like, there's not going to be a social cost in that aspect, right? Like, you saw what he did, like, when he actually did things and it was on the record that he did it and he admitted to them, still nobody cared, like Trump University, like all these like proven track record of fraud all over the place. And then the stuff he did when he was in office, like, he definitely broke the rules when he did that Ukraine shit, right? Like that was like right out in the open, like all the campaigning from the White House, all that kind of shit. Like he was just breaking rules blatantly, and it didn't. He was able to successfully defend himself in the court of public opinion. Right?
Yeah.
Nobody was able to. It's like that tweet about like
right, yeah,
Donnie
exactly.
gonna wriggle out of this one.
Yeah, see, look, exactly. See, so sounds like a little bit like the IRS how the IRS went after Al Capone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think Biden will give him every opportunity to keep himself out of trouble, right? I think he won't go to court unless he takes that path himself, right? I think it'll be like a negotiation,
Can you imagine if he gives him a pardon?
Oh shit.
Oh, I don't think he would do that. I think it would be informal. I think they would just have a, behind closed doors. They would
so
talk
you're
and
saying
be
that
like, look, we'll drop those charges.
So you're saying that Joe Biden won't keep to his word and let his AG act independently of his orders?
I think I think that Aaron Sorkin. I really think that Aaron Sorkin we want that Norm shit.
Biden's going to be the Sorkin president, man. He's going to do his presidency as if he was Sorkin, like as if he was.
Then just run Martin fucking Sheen. Oh, right.
Like they're going to tell him what to do.
Yeah, they really do.
It's going to be so choreographed, right? Like everything he does is going to be like so plotted and planned out and worked on and choreographed. It's just going to be basically as if they were writing like scenes from fucking the Sorkin show, right?
Yeah,
and there's like he's gonna have those scene like Pod John scumbags writing his speeches and all for him,
We're gonna
his handlers.
You're gonna see one shots. You're gonna see one shots at press conferences of people walking in hallways.
Oh,
yeah. You know what I mean? That'll be like the new adding. That'll be the new ad, or just like their general kind of social media presence. Just these Sorkin one shots, just like telling you how like you might get the public option, but you're not.
Like Biden's chopper talk.
That does remind me
of chopper talk.
This whole conversation is reminding me of the most lib shit I ever did when I was a Hillary supporter.
What?
So after Hillary lost, and I wasn't too deep into lefty media then, so like I was in a grieving period. So all I did was binge watch The West Wing over and over while Trump was getting inaugurated.
Oh, that's such
yeah.
You didn't like you didn't go to like a pussy hat march though?
No, well actually I did. Actually I was at one of those in New York. I went to one of those a couple of them actually. The post-election
did you think he was Putin's puppet?
Did I think he was putting? I mean, I thought there was some. I thought there was something to it as far as him being a little bit more coordinated with the Russian active measures campaign and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I after Mueller came out with the report, it sounds like what it sounds like from Don Jr.'s emails and stuff. It's not like they would have turned away working with him on some level to help facilitate what they were doing. You know, so I think what gets
even if they would have taken whatever from the fucking intro meeting. You know what I mean? Like, you know, the little breadcrumbs that each side would feed each other to be like, oh, I got this, you got this. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. They would just take that and run with it to the fucking.
Yeah. I'm sure that's probably pretty common,
you know?
right? Like,
yeah. And
I'm sure.
Besides that, all the stuff that came out when the Hillary campaign was getting info from Ukraine too, but it was just wasn't covered and publicized the way it was when they were talking about Trump and Russia and I mean, it's not to say that the Russians weren't going out there and getting into Twitter wars or Facebook shit, but I mean, has anyone looked at the fucking discourse on Twitter and Facebook? I mean, anybody out there talking shit about any of that is just gonna meld right in with the rest of the crap that's out there. So
I mean, a few things they did, like the you know, like the Texas independence and the BLM protests and stuff that they organized. That stuff might have been, you know, I don't know how effective it was, you know, like moving voters or anything like that, but I'm sure it like got people pissed off at each other for the day.
Yeah,
you know,
but I mean, how much
stuff like that?
But yeah, did it swing? Did it swing a few 100,000 votes over like 4 or 5 Rust Belt states?
No, but I think
God, no.
It's basically it's not the gas. It's not like a bucket of gasoline. It's just like a slow trickle of just continuing the fuel. It's this fuel just dripping it in there enough, keeps that fire burning, keeps everything simmering, keeps everything hot. Now
I don't think he was anybody's puppet though, because I don't think anybody would have seriously thought he was going to win.
No.
You know?
No.
Nobody seriously thought that.
I don't think he seriously thought he was going to win.
Yeah.
To kind of take that the Russian angle stuff, like even if Hillary won, the fact of the matter is they just look at it as the investment. Like, look, we're gonna fuck with him. We're gonna fuck with him.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. I know I borrow this from Adam Curtis, and he's just a bit of a long-winded douche at times, but he did point out a guy that I think is not spoken about. Vladislav Surkov. Okay, he's one of the guys that works with Putin. He came up in the avant-garde theater world. And I guess I think through energy holdings through his family. He's one of the oligarchs. He's a billionaire. But he's all into like the Stugatsky I think it's Stoyatsky brothers. But they did Stalker. That's kind of the famous RPG thing, right? But he's into their sci-fi surrealism and so forth. But apparently, you know, with Curtis, the way he presented this, and it's rather intriguing, is that Surkov would go and fund neo-Nazis and Antifa groups, and then get out there in public and say, I did that, and it was all to just fuck with. It's all to just fuck with people. That's the whole point. So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of that, and me and some of my friends, we call it Surkov's theater, it's been happening here, and it just doesn't. It doesn't matter if like, oh, we want to get Trump elected. It's just we're gonna fuck with these people because it's easy to fuck with Americans. You know what I mean? Like for just how much we consume and live on social media and for the moment and so rapid fire.
I think there's value in bringing down America. Like that's you know, I could see that being a thing, but I mean, just like the narrative that they have where it's like some sort of, you know, spy thriller doesn't seem very plausible. But I do think he's involved with the worst people in the world. I do think that they're, you know, like money laundering, like all that shit, like real estate development deals, or by definition,
there was
money
one
laundering,
story
you know?
I saw about there was a house that he sold that was like had zero value, and he sold it for like triple value. Which I mean, you could make a case that it's like the makings of some kind of money laundering or something like that. But let's go to the chat really fast. See what I see from Russia discourse is liberals allow conservatives to control the narrative.
I don't think that's true though, because like we just said, the same information was there about Hillary.
Yeah.
Right. They could have done he could have pressed the exact same type of case about Hillary the entire time.
Yeah, there could have been a whole Ukraine Gate thing that Fox could have ran with and plastered all over the place.
The liberals are the ones who picked like Russiagate.
Yeah.
They picked that. That's what they wanted to do.
And that came
his entire term. They wanted to delegitimize him. They wanted to make that the focal point. He didn't really earn it. He cheated to win.
Right.
And the Russians are making him do this.
Yeah, and they try to turn him into a Manchurian candidate.
We need to approve this $1 trillion military budget for him and increase the spying powers in the Patriot Act.
And a lot of that came from what he did at that one press conference where he said, Russia, if you're listening, I think you might be able to find the 50,000 emails or so, and you'll be rewarded mightily by our press. And after,
when did he meet with Putin, though? Was that after he was president? Like, I know they met that time in Finland, right? Or
no, I think it was at that Miss Universe pageant, right? Because he met with him there, and then what do you call it? Putin described him as a brilliant man.
When was this?
Which was like an imperfect translation, because what he meant was colorful, not so much brilliant as in brilliant, but it's and then that was the other.
And you, yeah,
like colorful as in.
When was that?
Was it 2009 Miss Universe pageant, something like that?
No, I think 2000, like or sooner, like
was it sooner than that?
2012
was something like, it was something like that.
But to Matt's point there, like with what they went on like the whole the whole focus, the Russia, Ukrainian, and like that's what they hit the impeachment. It's like the whole time they could have easily gotten rid of him. They could have easily gotten him out of office on just a emoluments clause, because
of course they could have.
They didn't want to do anything that was going to expose them.
But they made Jimmy Carter sell his peanut farm, and then it was a fake ass divestment. Yeah, it was like a fake ass divestment. It was a fake ass divestment of his business interests that nobody believed. And then on top of that,
he's so cheap though. Is the thing. Like he would sell us out for like nothing, right? Like that's what's so terrible about him. Like they all would sell us out. Like I'm sure Obama and Clinton would have made similar type of deals with foreign governments, like for their own personal interest, right? I just think that they were a little bit more serious about it. They held out for like slightly bigger terms. I feel like he would do it for like, a tax rebate on like his property tax, like a few $1,000s.
Oh yeah. No, they were talking about before the White House, because of course, Putin came in and visited. They met afterwards.
He probably knew he was he probably knew he was like an authoritarian type, like a reactionary.
Yeah, I mean, he has like a hard on for it. He does have a hard on for authoritarian figures. I will say that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he is that kind of guy. Like he's like them.
There was I forgot where I heard it, but there was this really cool Putin story about the time that he met Robert Kraft. I don't know if y'all heard about this story before.
No.
Well, Robert Kraft's the owner of the Patriots, right?
Yeah, so Putin, I hate Robert Kraft.
Yeah, so he went and he met, and Putin came and met with them. And, he went and showed him around the stadium or whatever else it was. And then Putin looks at Robert Kraft, and he's wearing a Super Bowl ring. And then Putin looks at him and is like, hey, that's a really nice ring. Can I see that for a second? And then, Robert Kraft gives him the ring, puts it in his pocket, walks out the door. And when Robert Kraft's like, well, what the fuck's going on? 2 Russian goons just step in front of him.
What?
and he walked off with Robert Kraft's fucking Super Bowl ring.
Oh fuck yeah! That's fucking.
That's
so alpha.
Yeah, right there. That's the difference between having power and having money.
The Virgin NFL team owner versus
that's a billionaire owner of the New England Patriots.
What do you think? Like, what's like a title for him though? Like, he's not the president.
The premier, the Russian premier.
I mean, he's like something in between.
What did they used to call
an
Stalin?
Oligarch. Stalin was a premier, right?
Premier,
or the chairman.
Let me get that. Let's see. Stalin.
Yeah, I think it's the chairman. It's like you're the head of the party. You're also.
Yeah, he's the head of the party, right?
fuck is
I don't know. He because he's sort of like in between an oligarch and a president, right? He's like a presidential oligarch kind of.
See, General Secretary of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union was his official title.
That's right. Yeah.
Such a mundane title too for what he really was.
Yeah.
He's the General Secretary of the Communist Party.
I mean, yeah, like I don't think those guys like they take him seriously in that he's powerful, but I don't think that like, you know, like the Strongman Club from the Borat movie, right? Like, I don't think those guys are gonna like. I don't know. Maybe he'd be useful for them for their own, you know, power grab. I just don't know what kind of value he's gonna be, and he's not in charge anymore.
Yeah.
Like, he'll have this cult, but like is that, you know, gonna be helpful to like world domination? You know.
Apparently, allegedly, did you guys see this Independent story out of the Independent? Trump has told allies that if Joe Biden is certified, that he's going to immediately announce the 2024.
Yeah, we had caught a story that he's already confiding in allies, but by the end of the year, he's gonna announce a second run in 2024.
Oh,
So-
that's gonna be so annoying.
Yeah, and
Oh,
here's the thing though. We've already talked about like Joe Biden got a lot of assistance when it came to how Trump handled COVID, and that undoubtedly swung the election into Biden's favor. And even then, right now, and let's not make any let's not split hairs about this. It was even then it was fucking close. You know, we're still talking about
way too
a
close
similar
for a guy
margin
who
of
fucking
victory
historically
just flipped
tanked
around.
everything.
You know, I mean, despite the popular vote and the way it went, of course, he was Biden was always going to win that. But when it came to the electoral college win, it was really, really fucking close. So,
The
if we're looking-
turnout. The
right?
turnout.
I mean,
man.
the turnout was fucking
So many
yeah.
people voted for him.
Yeah, over 70 million people voted for Trump. So if we're looking at a 2024 rematch of this exact same scenario with no COVID, no recession, I mean, I wouldn't put it past people to go ahead and elect Trump back in.
Like I
Maybe there
keep
wouldn't
saying,
be any doubt about it.
Like I keep saying, man, Biden has to do something good. He has to do one good thing, or preferably more than one good thing. But like, he has to not suck, because Obama spent 8
He has
years
to
there
actively not suck.
and didn't improve anybody's lives.
Right.
You know, like
and I mean and that's what paved the way for Trump. But I mean, like if Biden,
I mean, I guess he did Obamacare. With maybe some people were helped, but it's hard to say like what, you know what I mean? Like what kind of changes did he, like that gave people more money in their paycheck, or like made their jobs easier or better, or made their livelihood, you know?
It has to be something material. But you know,
I'm saying it has to be something. I think that's the only way they're going to be able to have a shot at holding on in 24, because the economy's going to be fucked up, man. I don't know what they're going to do, but it's hard to see
you know,
it.
and Trump's
Like,
kind of taking a dump everywhere he can in the White House just to make sure that Biden ends up inheriting as fucked up a situation as possible.
exactly the thing he's doing at Defense Department, like historically that's what they do. Like Republican presidents like crash the market on their way out. You know, like that's.
I mean, well,
kinda,
but I mean, look at it. Bush left office and Obama inherited the great.
Well, like
recession.
they're gonna have the quantitative easing and all too is still.
Dude,
they're still buying junk bonds from all these
bill-
companies, and the economy is totally inflated, right? Like,
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
not
the
natural.
bill has to come due at some point when you're using that
Black Friday.
Yeah.
Because who's gonna have the fucking money to go out there and push everybody off the red in the retail sector? Guitar Center, boys.
Yeah,
right?
when we come
Guitar
to
Center could do their little 15% on fucking everything with no questions asked or whatever they're trying to push right now. But the fact of the matter is they are not saving that ass.
No.
Like this Black Friday on top of the L that I mean, like again, they're in prepackaged 11. It's probably going to be announced in hours from now on the East Coast here or whatever. I'm counting down, motherfuckers.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, I am counting down to that fucking announcement.
There was yeah, go for it.
But the thing is it's to the overinflated point is it's what is the one thing that's going, like the big sector, it's the consumer sector. Like it may be on Amazon. Maybe that's what it is like it's really just Amazon and these tech companies are really what's just keeping everything up right now.
Right.
You know, tech and logistic companies.
Netflix,
yeah.
yeah, a lot of Netflix shit
and
too.
some entertainment creators. I mean,
Right.
because
But it's stuff that you can. I mean, it's stuff that you can do from home, and then with the, and you know, even what we do, like with the streaming shit, they've kicked up the price so much on streaming equipment just during the pandemic because a lot of people are taking to do their own content creation, right? And like
we couldn't keep shit on the shelves. Like this mic, the AKG C214, the joint that you got, the basic. I'm not even. I'm gonna say basic. You know, all the Focusrite Scarlett interfaces, like on the shelves were completely empty of all the USB shit.
Right.
They didn't. GC don't sell cameras, but
But
all
then,
that
like,
USB
everything
gone, just gone.
Yeah.
And then in exchange for that, though, like, everything brick and mortar is just completely gutted. Like, all the restaurants, like, all the stores, like...
Right.
I just don't see how any of that shit's going to come back in any kind of, like, legitimate way. Like, it's going to be scooped up by, like, giant private equity, like, you know, just mass consolidation of all the holdings, like... And like the real estate market too, right?
I think they're gonna. Well, let's take Aries for example, because Aries has a good amount of these like kind of niche brick and mortar stores to them. Automotive stores, they'll always be around. They'll never have a problem.
Mhm.
Everyone's got a car; they got to go get that shit done, right?
Right.
But you got to think
People
of
are
like
driving a lot less though.
Yeah, I mean
That's
that's
true,
why
too.
that's why gas has gone down so much. Though, so yeah.
So
build
it's
up for
definitely,
$15, fellas.
It's definitely like shifted. Yo, $5 is gas money again. But
Yeah.
it's definitely. But the thing is it's the money on how we're consuming it. It's the energy of where we're consuming is shifting, and it's changing. It's because we're more at home now. It's delivery, it's logistic, it's online, it's delivery. Not going to the stores so much. I don't. What I think though is like you said with those private equity firms, Matt. It's I think you're gonna see some of those big names go down. I think Aries takes a massive fucking L when not just Guitar Center, but like Spencer's and a lot of these other stores really start disappearing.
Right.
What about like WeWork and all too, right? Or don't they have like billions of dollars in like real estate holdings and they're like went bankrupt, you know?
But
they never
I mean,
really
if they're
had
gonna
any
be-
money.
If they're going to be landlords, who the fuck buying? Like, you
I
know,
mean,
like
all these
it's-
condo buildings, all these like giant like landlords that own just like, you know, hundreds of thousands of these condo units and all, you know, they're no
Trailer
one's.
parks? They're buying
but
up trailer parks.
They're already but they're heavily leveraged in the housing sector though. Like they own a shitload of real estate that nobody wants. You know, all this office space too. You know, people are working from home.
Yeah, and that's what's kind of quote unquote amazing about COVID is that it just basically just said, yeah, we're gonna fuck all y'all and see who evolved in terms of your business models being able to handle this.
Yeah.
You know, so but
we have that in the U.S. too. New York and like a lot of these downtown condos are owned by these like foreign investors and just like massive holding companies that just have
that's your
like,
money laundering.
tons of.
That's your money laundering, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
That's how they money launder in the United States. It's how the
Well,
foreigners
that's how
get their
Chinese
shit out of
nationals
it.
can invest because Chinese people aren't allowed to invest in foreign like businesses or foreign stock market or whatever, but they are allowed to buy real estate. So rich people just buy up condos in you know, West Coast and like other cities that have just massive, you know, they park their money there like $300,000 units, just like dozens of them.
See the death of malls.
Yeah,
and in Dallas, they're still building the high rise like there will be no hit to the economy. I mean, depending on how those high rises are, if they're going for stacks, I mean, if we're just talking studios and 1BRs, I mean, they may be preparing themselves for, you know, some
and the office space
Shadowrun
too,
cyberpunk shit, you know, like
the
What's that,
office
Matt?
space is going to be most of these companies are working from home, right? So they're going to, like, when their leases are up, they're not going to renew them. They're certainly not going to be looking for new space. You know, it's like there might be like, you know, giant like tech campuses and stuff, like big like sprawling estates. Yeah, maybe like some sort of like combo like live work place where they like, you know, like techno feudalism, right? Where you like just like are in the dominion of Facebook. You're in the Time Warner complex zone. Like that's what
the TW zone.
I just don't see how it doesn't all consolidate. I just don't see how like the rich don't just buy up all these distressed properties and all the stuff that's going to go under. If it's any value in it, it'll, and just everything will be owned by like 8 guys, and they will. I don't see how that'll be good.
I think
there's none of that free market innovation.
Maybe we could take some guesses on which dominoes start falling in which order. I think the retail one starts really falling hard. Obviously, this year.
I mean, with
because of
everything,
COVID.
yeah. I mean, because of things.
Yeah, and then with Black Friday, once that
yeah,
number hits
exactly.
on Black Friday,
yeah, exactly.
There's the online guys will be cool, but then I mean, with the online domino is not in terms of like Amazon, that domino, like them guys and their logistics, or if they hire anyone or run their own, they're not falling. Tech is never going to fall.
No.
Tech and then I guess logistics would be the next one. I mean, the production side though is like, I mean, it's not produced here.
No.
Like it's going to make it here. Like, so
that's true.
I guess like the bars and restaurants and stuff are nimble. Like one can shut down and then 6 months from now, like some rich guy can give you money and you can open up a new place.
Yeah.
Like
or you can just go a kitchen only.
Well, I mean, if when Biden takes over, if there are more uniform shutdowns across the country to go ahead and slow the spread of COVID, or at least bring the numbers back down. If all that coincides, I mean, unless Biden takes the same tact as Trump and puts the economy ahead of the spread of the.
So you think it'll just be like standard practice now? Like it'll just be the way the economy works, that it's constantly backed up by the Fed? The Fed's just constantly bailing out Wall Street.
But that has to come back at some point or another. I mean, you can't just
imagine how perverse that is, though. I mean, the government that does that pumps trillions of dollars of liquidity into like the stock market,
right? Unlimited amounts of money, and then meanwhile you say you can't afford this or that social program.
Yeah. But they're all being evicted and just losing their jobs and their health care, and everything's going to shit. And meanwhile, you're just making sure like the fucking
stock value,
richest people in the world like don't lose a single penny.
I mean, do they want to prove money means nothing? Like
that's what I'm saying.
I think they have by now.
Means nothing,
I mean, they absolutely have by now.
You want to prove the money is no value? Keep doing that, assholes.
Yeah,
like, that's what they're doing.
Yes, exactly. And you see them.
And meanwhile, when it's a social program, that money has
they have no way to be able to. You can't pump money into the Fed to
spend.
prop up into one of these social programs, but no,
they're going to be pumping austerity too. The Republican Senate is going to be just fucking twisting it. Like, we spent too much in the recovery. We got stimulus. You spent $3 trillion. Blah blah blah. Like, get ready for that. It's going to be fucking miserable.
Already gave up that fucking ghost. Yeah, he already gave up that ghost of like, we got to worry about the debt. Oh, the word D came out of your fucking mouth now.
Can you believe that though?
Yeah.
But I mean,
guys are so sick.
But can it continue like that unimpeded without there being some kind of actual ramification from just throwing untold amounts of cash into?
It will finally spin out of fucking control because I think you're gonna like this social psych of. Not even just so much like guys like us and folks like us that are in these chats, that because look, we are a minority, people disengaged into politics. Like this is, we are a minority, but there is going to get to a point where a mass amount of people, because their material conditions, as Matt points out excellently a lot of times,
over and over.
You as well, Tony, you as well. But as the material conditions take a shit, and it gets worse regardless of where they are on the political spectrum, and then they just see all the money get flown into fucking the Hamptons and Wall Street,
right?
And then eventually, they again, it's just unless they find a way to keep the cognitive dissonance up, where it's like, we have to do that, even though I'm living in a shanty town, they may very well.
Do you think they like that?
Very well may do it. What's that?
Do you think that, I mean, what's one of the central tenets of Keynesian economics, right? Originally was talking about that comment in the chat, about the homeless people and all. like it was supposed to be you didn't want that, right? They specifically said that affected quality of life. Like rich people didn't want homeless people around. I don't know if that's changed.
Maybe materially they don't want homeless people around, like because of the reasons that they're saying in the chat, but they just don't want to see it. You know, as long as they don't see it and it's kind of unsightly, then that's when they get bothered. You know, I don't mind having homeless people or knowing that there's homeless people out there, but just let me see it on my way to work.
I don't know. It's like you'd have to be pretty sick though, because it's like they have the Fed. They see the Fed working to serve them and keeping the market stable for them, right? They have to know that the government can fix these problems, right? These are not
the rich do this because to scare people into obedience. Oh well, I mean, that's the way they incentivize people to always make sure that they have to keep working, right? You know, you don't want to be homeless.
No, it is 100%.
But there's no jobs though. Is the thing. Like the economy's falling apart.
Yeah, it's falling apart, and it was built on a gig economy. It was rebuilt into a gig economy, right? Do y'all want to see another BLM Proud Boys video?
Yeah.
It just seems like it'd be easier to do healthcare at that point.
Yeah.
You know, like, and UBI for that matter. Like, you have that way you can completely gigify the economy if you have basic shit like that taken care of. That's what I'm saying. The USA can make up money as much as they want.
Yeah.
Like, they can do that, but like they can obviously afford to pay for the people too. Is the thing. Like, that's like, if they're going to be making up money for themselves, they really might as well, like, you know, hook a brother up.
Okay, so to the internet asshole, and they're not really an asshole. They're actually a really cool person.
Yeah, they're actually a really cool person.
So to the internet asshole, yes, the U.S. can never go bankrupt. The United States can never go bankrupt. It's fiat currency. They just print it. And you just give it to the vendor. So who are they giving it to when they print the money and they spend it? I mean, we all heard the jokes about like the $5,000 toilets and the fucking golden hammers, and the Pentagon and shit in the 90s. You know what I mean? So it obviously went to Halliburton.
Yeah, what was
contractors.
What was that? There was that joke from that movie Independence Day. That you don't really think they spend $30,000 on a hammer, $40,000 on a toilet seat, do you?
Right. So. So again, like all the upcharging and obviously all that other type of bullshit. But the thing is it's a matter of like there is a credit rating, okay, and it is something to be mindful of. And it's like, okay, how much cash do you have out there on the street? Because that's really what the debt is. It's just how much cash is on the fucking street.
Right.
That's what's out there. That's what they printed. And the thing is where are you putting it? Because money is just a symbol for energy. So if you're putting the energy in the bombs to turn Palestinian kids into little skeletons, okay, like that's where you're putting that energy. Like that's not a good investment. Well, for humanity, but obviously some people see it as a need to like, all right, now I got to go make another fucking drone so I get another.
You can sell it for a few multi-millions of dollars. Right.
Whereas again, like with what you guys say, and with a lot of folks say, is that like you pay doctors with it. You know, just print the money and pay the doctors. That's good investment because you're making everybody healthy.
Right.
And that's just better in the long. It's just a better investment, and especially for businesses, you don't have to worry about every 2 weeks, 2 weeks a year. You have to sit down and figure out you have to figure out your what the benefits package is going to be for that year and all the enrollment period and shit. And you're spending that money for your HR department, if you even got one, to have to go through that legalese of bullshit to get people fucking help, just insurance,
right?
To go see a fucking doctor, to ensure the doctor, hey, yeah, he's going to pay for it. You're going to get paid for it. You know, it's hey doc, what you need? There's your cash. You know, oh, they need to. There it is. There's the energy. Make it happen. Make the machine go. There it is. And then pay the energy. Oh, Duke Energy. There's your for the electric bill. You know. I mean,
they could probably figure out how to like pay.
You can never go broke.
Like keep paying the insurance companies too. Is what they would do, right?
I mean,
see, like they're trying to like subsidize Cobra. You know, like that's what they want to do. Like they want to just give the insurance companies more money. So like. they could figure that out. I'm sure.
To do what? They don't do the service.
They could pay them to do the service, right?
So
the workers. I mean, that is the plan. Is you just go and you grab the workers and be like, all right, you work for us now. You're gonna help us with the paperwork. You know, like because there's still gonna be administrative needs, and a lot of those folks have a skill in especially because realize too, there's no national health insurance company. And there's not several national health insurance companies.
Such a shit show. It's such a shit show.
It's all regional based and state based, and there's no law that says these cats can't cross lines and sell, like a Florida company can't sell in Georgia. That's bullshit. The Florida company does not want to spend the money to go into Georgia and have to build up those personal networks of all of those doctors. They're stuck. They are what they are because of what they've been able to establish from legacy contacts. And then, of course, you know, when they're working an area and a new doctor sets up shop, like, oh, yeah, I'll jump on with you guys. Edna, what's up? You know, so, but again, nothing stops that. Just using it as an example, nothing stops them from going up to Atlanta or Philly or any of these other places. So, like there will be that need of like, oh, okay, so y'all who used to work for Aetna in Florida or Bayfront or whatever the fuck they were called, we got a job for you. You already still have the connections to all these people, and it's nothing for the gov to go in there and be like, this company's falling apart. All right, we're gonna pay for your data, all the info that you have with the doctors. No, honestly, on the doctors and all that. But there you go.
Yeah,
energy, and it's an investment. Them clowns get their cash to go fuck around on Wall Street with it, and then it's also showing money that at least went to the healthcare system.
Yeah,
which is a good investment. It's just a good investment.
All right, let's go to this video here. So Black Lives Matter, Antifa, and Proud Boys brawl as they march to Harry's. It took BLM or Antifa 3 streets to find an opening that wasn't blocked off by police. So here we go.
Got it. Got it.
That's what it looks like. Capture the flag with a Maga hat.
Sticks out! Sticks out! Sticks out! Sticks out!
Sticks out.
President, boys and girls! We can smell the gold from here! Let's go! Hey, why can't we get any food here, you fucking losers? Go carry your city!
The cops are not supposed to do that.
Jesus, like y'all seeing what I'm saying in this, right?
This is some fucking.
What pussy ass shit is that?
Failure state. They're like fucking like a protected, like endangered species. Like the federal government needs to like make sure they're okay.
Yeah,
and they don't like get themselves like.
Yeah, this is out in DC, by the way. Yeah, it's what's going down over there.
Yeah, earlier in the night.
Yeah. But no, I mean, you see there. I mean, the cops are the ones forcing back BLM and Antifa, or
yeah, to protect the chuds.
Yeah,
It's
I mean, that's
dystopian,
exactly
man.
what they're doing.
It's like, yeah, I don't. That's.
Let's see. There's a little more to this. Let me see if I can swing back over to the rest of the video. There you go.
Yeah, man, some apartheid shit. Like, if your rednecks get behind us and yell "fuck you" at these other guys, and we'll protect you. It's like literally what they're doing.
It's really what they're doing.
Like, Antifa, like, here, get behind us and yell "fuck Antifa."
This is today. Yeah, this is tonight.
And these guys think they're tough. Like,
yeah, real.
Yeah,
Good
well, tough
people.
guys get the cops to protect them.
And notice which way they're all facing. They're not like even. Look at that. Look, did you see that? You catch that? You catch that?
What?
Look at this. Look at this. Right there. Look at that. Wow.
Look at that psycho. Look at that guy. He's just like some dude who like came up on like, you know, for the weekend. I mean, I guess they all did that, but like.
Jesus, man. Yeah, I mean, I thought I had to do a double take on that shit just to see that cop was actually shaking hands and shit with these people. I mean, what the fuck?
Oh, we see it here in Florida. We see it here a bunch.
And that's insane.
Like,
That's insane.
I mean, it's just some of the shit I've seen, and that's even nothing, just scratching the surface. Like in the Tampa area, it's fucking nutty. It is pretty nutty. I mean, we've had people get like hit by cars, and the cops were like,
yeah,
that's happening all over, man. So many.
Yeah,
people
we're
got
talking
run over
about
this summer.
that bill that's out there in Florida now that the expansion is coming down.
Dude. It's gonna be the
DeSantis
purge.
wants to make killing fields, and also the fact too of like I mean, y'all saw that dude in that video that went out the other day of the touch me down here in Tampa, down in Dunedin actually, which is not far from where I'm living out here, and but it's like we have like John Riches, the camp dude, his buddy, a lot, Tario from the Proud Boys, okay, like a lot of these figures are here in Florida, and a lot of this energy of which I'm surprised it hasn't been more violent, in all honesty, which is a good thing. I hope it doesn't get any more violent. But like, a lot of that energy is here, and for DeSantis to sit there and be like, "Yeah, legalize killing fields," you know what I mean? Just legalize political killing fields, because what if DeSantis signs this law? I mean, and folks have been pointing this out, like, well, DeSantis signs this law, and Proud Boys go out and do what they did in D.C. They do it, say, in St. Pete. Well, can I speed up? Turn the wiper blades on and just, gun it? Is that what they're telling me? Like, and all I have to do is get out the truck and be like, I feel for my life, and that was it.
Yeah.
Like
that's what it sounds like.
Really, is this really what it's going to boil down to? Like, especially because he also played off on that bullshit Josh Fiallo tweet from Tampa Bay Times about St. Pete and the diners. So I mean, it could be political bluster, but the other fact of the matter too is that the Republicans control like 70 out of the 100 seats, or whatever the fuck it is. Like it's like a disgusting supermajority. Like the Florida Democratic Party is an absolute joke. It's they surprisingly did good in Hillsborough, and Pinellas County flipped blue in this presidential election. But other than that, it's no. I mean, they got murked in South Florida, just absolutely murked.
All right, guys. Let's see. I think we could probably go ahead and sign off there, man. We're gonna go. We're coming up on 4 hours, so I'm gonna thank
guys. Sorry.
Yeah, it's cool. We appreciate having you on, bro. At least I'm glad we were able to patch you in really easily and everything. And well, unless you have something to plug.
Well, not so much. Okay, so the name Base of PJ that you see right there, it's on Twitch, it's on Twitter. I'm gonna hope to be doing this stream thing very soon with a Florida focus. Like I mentioned earlier to anyone watching, I'm gonna be hopefully talking with local reporter friends and having them on to do discussions and just basically do cool little, hopefully interview style stuff regarding their content, their articles, because there's a lot of stories here in Tampa and St. Pete and Newport Richey and Clearwater in this area that have to be told. Yeah. And I mean, I told one story on Minion Death Cult. The episode was Conservative Grounds, the Ballad of Cliff Geppert. He was the guy that opened up that Trump Coffee. It's still open, the Trump Coffee shop over in Largo, here in Florida, Florida. And he came out and fucked with us at Occupy ICE in 2018 when we did a 12-day outside of an ICE facility. Kind of like a really small one, like a quick like a holding cell facility before they took him off and put him on the plane. So he came. It was the guy that owns the coffee shop, Cliff Geppert. He wanted to be a podcaster and again one of these live streamer types, right? You know what I mean? Just running out there and putting his shit camera in everybody's face, and his shit fell apart, which was hilarious too. Like it kept falling out of the monopod, or you know what I mean, but more or less that we were able to clown him a bit because he's just running around being the
great
Gen X reactionary.
You see that stat in the chat?
No. Let's see.
The Cody Johnson video. There have been 104 attempts by right-wingers to run over protesters.
Oh,
that sounds right.
Yeah, that does sound about right, man. But shit, it doesn't. It's not really all that surprising, unfortunately.
I think
that's what they're mad about.
I think that did show there was. I'll have to go back and look at it. I mean, I may be just associating it because I've seen the video. But someone I know, a comrade, was hit by a red pickup truck back in June.
Oh shit!
Just like, you know what I mean, and like just.
And that's the shit that you saw in Portland too, and all over the place. When
Denver,
go back to the what do you call it? The Charleston rally. Wasn't it the Heather Heyer who ended up being killed by the MAGA motherfuckers?
The cops ran over those people in Times Square too.
Yeah,
NYPD.
Yeah, and and then they want us to cry for cops when they get.
Yeah, that's what they're. That's what they're gonna miss, right? Like I feel like they can operate with impunity now because of their scumbag president.
But
I think like they're not gonna be so bold.
You know what though, Matt? I know we're signing off, but Matt, that is the point right there. That could be a discussion topic maybe tomorrow or another time. Like, I think the cops. Everyone worries about the military. I think the cops are that fascist force that Trump is going to put.
That's what I've been saying all along, man. They fucking.
Yeah, Matt is very anti-cop.
If I was the Democrats, if I was the liberals, I would be trying to defund the police because they're my political opponents. Like I don't know why they're not seeing that angle. Because
you did have more of a divergent electorate from within the military that went ahead and didn't support Trump than you did when you look at the police and how they lined up. So.
That's what happened.
High 80s in 2016. They didn't do another poll, but I can only imagine what it is in 2020.
Yeah,
you know, if it was already high 80s. You know.
Yeah.
But
to wrap it up, it's like the Twitch channel. Like I said, hopefully soon. I appreciate follows. I'm going to be doing a lot of Florida news, like Florida focus on the Tampa Bay area. Hopefully with bands too, because I like music. I'm a musician.
Fuck yeah. Used to be.
You know what I mean?
Awesome. And you can go ahead and follow.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, no.
Tampa used to have
so much. So.
Yeah, no, it was great having you on.
Tallahassee. Who used to have the good ska scene back in the day? It was some Florida city, right? I remember. It was all like the ska and pop punk bands are from.
But all right, y'all. So you can follow us if you haven't been
I think
following.
it's Tampa St. Pete.
Probably. Dude, death metal was invented here.
Maybe.
It was Chuck Schuldiner invented death metal in Tampa.
All right.
All right,
later.
y'all. So y'all can follow us at Unelectable A on Twitter. If you're not subscribed to us, then go ahead and hit that button. Follow us over on Twitch. We're simulcasting right now, so whatever platform you are, just go ahead and stick with us.
Yeah.
And
Also on Twitch.
Yeah, we stream almost every day, so we'll see we're on tomorrow. But yeah, thanks for everybody for joining up with us tonight. All right.
Yeah, look at this motherfucker. People deserve to get run over.
All right, later.
No, please.